All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and welcome to the ABT Spring National event at the beautiful Bowling Plaza at South Point in Las Vegas. I'm with PBA Hall of Famer, Storm representative, and our national spokesperson, Randy Peterson. Randy, thanks for coming out. I know you're feeling a little bit under the weather, but I'd like to give people watching a little bit of what we're doing here this weekend. This is the first of basically 5 different matches that they're going to see. We have our Survivor Series tonight, which is some of you that bowled a Survivor format at home. We have 33 semifinalists in this current field that you're now watching. They're getting ready to start practicing here. But basically we cut the field in half by score with handicap after each round. And we go to a maximum of 5 rounds, and then winner will receive $500. We'll have a couple of these side event semifinals that we'll bring to them throughout the weekend. And then, of course, what you're going to be on hand for is presenting the big check for our ABT national Spring National winner on Sunday evening, along with our open scratch event, which is $10,000 for first place. But, Randy, it's good to see you.
Thanks, Nick. It's good to be here. And it's good to be here with all my ABT peeps. Lots of familiar faces, lots of good bowling too. I like the old pattern that was laid down for this tournament for the Spring Nationals. I think it can be conducive to some good scores. I think everybody has an opportunity to score on it, and so I like what you guys have done with the old pattern. I think it's a fun pattern and potential for big scores.
Probably the hardest part for us as a group of directors is trying to find a pattern that is not too difficult, but yet not too easy.
Absolutely, and you have to have a nice mix as well.
Because of the mix of bowlers.
Exactly, but I mean, you have your tough patterns, you have some high-scoring patterns, and everything in between. And I think variety is a great model to follow. I mean, the PGA Tour does it. You have everything from your U.S. Open to your Bob Hope Desert Classic, where they go real low, and everything in between. And so I think it's a good formula to follow, and I think ABT did a really nice job this week with the old pattern.
I agree with you. I think that I thought that the pattern was relatively easy. I thought the scores would be a lot higher. And in actuality, they're slightly above the bowler's average. I'd say the range of cut for qualifying squads so far have been in the 90s for 3 games, so they're 30 over each game.
Right.
And if it's 70% of 225, they're not that far off from. They have to bowl over their average, obviously, but it's not something that's phenomenally high where they're really going to have to bowl. One game will take them out, so to speak.
Well, the scoring pace isn't ridiculously high.
No.
But the higher average bowlers, they actually have a little bit better opportunity. You still have to throw the ball well. I mean, it's not like you're bowling on a house shot. You still have to throw the ball well. But if you do, you match up right with the right equipment, it's out there.
Yes. Yeah, we've seen that. We haven't had any honor scores yet, but we've had gentlemen that have had the front 7, front 8. In fact, even Chuck Bazemore from Denver shot the highest game of his life, shot 258, the very last game of this current squad to make the cut, the block cut, and now he's set up in all the other stuff that he qualified for, the gold and the seniors. So, one good game can still get you in, obviously, as we saw, but the better players are going to, I think, have a very good chance of continuing only because of their expertise.
Right.
But yet it's scoreability enough that if the average player gets into that right part of the lane, can do just as well.
Sure. I saw Greg Nyer earlier today shoot 279.
Yes.
So, like I said, it's out there, and obviously there's a pair-to-pair issues, if you will, based on who you're following, how much traffic's out in front of you. But again,
now these are all fresh, so that'll be interesting.
Exactly. Keep your eye on Kay Johnson, though, in this competition. She's on 55 and 56. She's getting ready to throw a practice ball here on lane 55 shortly. She's my dark horse. And it's not because I love Kay Johnson. It's because...
And she feeds you well.
Okay, it's because I love Kay Johnson.
Yeah, she's a doll. I think she's getting ready to celebrate her 80th birthday very shortly.
She is.
Amazing woman. Amazing woman. And actually, we have Scott Pohl down on 55 and 56, ex-Team USA player out of Twin Cities area.
Yep, out of Minnesota.
St. Paul. Yep.
Yeah, Scott's a good player. He's done a lot of tournament bowling, and he knows how to strike. You give him a little bit and watch out.
Yes.
It'll be tough.
And again, we're going to start today in this format with 33 bowlers that have qualified. After the first round, we're going to eliminate the bottom half. Top 16 will advance to the next round, and then we'll cut the field in half from that point on. Also going to be speaking with us today throughout the telecast of this is going to be Jason Langtree, regional manager for some of our ABT branches across the country. Jason started here in Las Vegas, and he now has Montana Bay, NorCal, we'll call it, Northern California, Dallas, Texas, Sacramento, now on the East Coast, Virginia, South Carolina. Yeah, that's right, Washington, D.C. area branch.
I remember back in the day when I gave Jason Langtree a bowling lesson.
That was a couple days ago, wasn't it?
No, that was a few years back. I had him throwing it so good he couldn't miss the pocket.
Well, you'll remember the lesson time because that was when Randy Peterson was looking thinnest as ever on TV. Because the lesson was traded for a dietitian plan.
Yeah, that didn't last long. One thing I learned about your dietary plan: no fun.
Well, neither was throwing all those strikes you taught me how to throw.
Buddy, you were throwing it so good, man. Shredding racks. I remember you were ripping racks, sending messengers over. Wow, that guy on 59 just got it back from the edge.
Yeah.
That's fun to see. You know, you don't.
And that surprises me. I didn't.
Well, you don't see that in today's game anymore. You don't see players playing the gutter unless it's on TV and it's the Cheetah Championship where the outside part of the lane is scorched.
Right.
And that's not the case on this oil pattern.
I'm actually a little surprised that the bowlers can get through it. There seem to be, again, depending on the surface, depending on the machine, there was enough OB out there that you really, you had to be so perfect to get the reaction that you wanted that you pretty much were forced to go inside and play about 10 out. But yeah, there's a couple guys that they had a great look on the ditch.
Remember, Survivor Finals will be going to 16, 8, 4, and 2 for your final matches. Please nominate you officially. Make the cut after each game. Make sure you're in proper position. Please follow your letter. Again, it is one lane courtesy. When it's your turn to bowl, please be ready. The next ball you roll will be for score. Good luck, good bowling.
Well, it looks like we're getting ready to fire them up here. Next ball they roll is going to be for score.
In the beginning of this format, it's going to be hard. You'll pick out a couple individual bowlers, but as we weed the field, so to speak, we'll talk more and more about the individuals that are left.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts of the country represented in this field, so it'll be exciting to share where some of them are from.
I like the fact that we have Dennis Joel in lane 56, who's from Bermuda.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
I actually worked with him earlier today on his game, yeah. Great guy, nice, very well spoken, good athlete.
Tell you what, he throws a pretty nice ball, but he also looks as though he's in the learning process.
Yeah, he's a little mechanical right now, but we talked about a lot of things, and man, I gave him a lot of food for thought. That's what really, there's so much to in any sport when you talk about just obtaining knowledge and then applying it to what you're already doing. It's really a big help. Rather than tell somebody, hey, do this, do that, give them some knowledge so that they can take that knowledge and experiment on their own. Try different things.
Yeah, even if you're coaching somebody on a house shot and they go high, and you basically tell them, look, just move your feet left and target this, and okay, the guy strikes, but did you really teach him anything? Did you really give him the knowledge? Why did we do that?
Exactly.
What did you see that he doesn't see?
Right.
What does he have to look for?
Basically explaining to him how things work. His big miss is left. 95% of the time when he misses target, it's left. And explaining to him why that happens and what he's actually doing in his physical game. And then, basically just wording it to where it makes sense.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, well, yeah, no, I get it. Because what you just said is logical. It makes sense.
And sometimes it's just a key phrase or using it in conjunction with another sport. Like,
sure,
it's very easy for somebody that's a golfer, that's a good golfer but not necessarily a good bowler.
Right.
And if you relate it to them in terms of golf, they seem to get it automatically.
Well, I also took video of him too because I wanted him to see. Because there's a thing in golf and bowling and all sports, it's called feel versus real. You feel like you're doing one thing, in reality, it's another.
Right.
And when you can visually show somebody, they usually accept the information a lot easier.
Well, it's getting your brain to realize that what you're telling the individual, your brain's almost in the background going, I don't know about that.
Right.
But then when they see themselves on film, the brain gets it.
Right. The brain accepts it, and then you've basically knocked down that barrier.
Yes.
And it's much easier to get the information through. There's Scott Pull on lane 55 shooting the 610. And there is the Bo Burton kiss of death right there. I was just about to say good spare shooter, and he chops the 6 straight back. And in a one-game match like this in Survivor, that could be really costly, especially for a guy like Scott Pull who doesn't get a lot of handicap, if any.
Right. Very little. Yeah, he's got to be on top of his game, and even sometimes just a grinder game might not be enough for him to advance.
I think the best part of ABT and doing it over the years is the people. The different styles, the different personalities, the people, and that's what makes this such a great club to be, to belong to. It's just it's the personalities, same, a lot of the same people, some new faces, but everybody's here to have a good time. Obviously, they want to win money, and but it's like a big family.
It is. The neat part is as these bowlers have come from all parts of the country to participate, and they've got to basically make friends with people from other areas. They keep in touch.
Right.
And the first thing they do once the tournament entries come out is you pick up the phone or you're texting them going, are you going to show up? Where are we going to go? What are we going to do after we're done? Where are we going to eat? It's pretty cool. So everybody, it's like a reunion in a way. But they look forward to seeing each other, but they also look forward to bowling in competition.
What squad are you on? I want to make sure I get on the same squad as you.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely more than a club than a tournament.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep. Well, and the great part too is you got Lee up with Storm. We had Corey Hoffman here with 900 Global. Obviously, you're here as much as you can be to help them with their game. They're fitting them up with the new equipment that Storm and 900 Global are putting out. But the great part is you get a chance to help them on a one-on-one basis as much as you can to get them lined up on that particular shot. And again, transferring the knowledge so that they can use that to their advantage once they get either in qualifying or into the semifinals.
It's a lot of fun for me when the bowlers come up to me and ask me, hey, can you watch me? Hey, can you line me up? Hey, can you tell me if you see something with my game? And and I love helping all players, but it's kind of cool when
it's cool when they get it. That's what's fun.
Yeah, but it's cool that they come up and ask me to help them.
Sure. Yeah, the one who used to crack me up was Robbie Robinson.
And I haven't seen him yet.
No,
I don't know if he's coming.
I don't know if he's going to make it, being in the military.
Right.
I think he's in Texas right now.
But he was always, we always worked with him at every event, and I enjoyed working with Robbie and watching him and rooting him on. And
the next ball you roll will be for score. Good luck, good bowling, and thank you for bowling the Amateur Bowlers Tour Spin Nationals.
Nice shot there from Kyle Fujimoto. Bowls out of the Vegas branch.
Kyle's good at playing the gutter, too. I've seen him play out a lot.
Yeah, he definitely prefers to play straight and out. Definitely his A game. Struggles a little bit when he needs to move in, but this pattern obviously isn't asking him to do that.
No.
I bowled on this pattern yesterday. I had a nice look from about 12 to 7. So that just goes to show you what a great job you guys did with the oil pattern. It's even senior friendly. Well, I'll tell you what, they've got some of the hottest ATM machines in town. Here at the old. Here in Vegas.
A lot of us have not done well. Although they're just paying me back for the last time I was here in February, where I did amazingly well. But that's the way it goes.
I did my best living here for 16 years not to help build very many casinos.
Well, I have to pay the light bill in at least 3 places, or I don't feel like I've done my job.
Wow. We all know how you like to send it, Nikki. And they get you too, because you go up to the room, there's like 4 channels at work. And the rest are horse racing. Do you think this pattern's pretty even left to right?
I honestly do. I really do. The lefties that I've seen, well, you got Gideon Spar, who's pretty soft, likes to get through the ball, doesn't really send it down the lane with a lot of speed, but he had a really good look. And of course, you just saw Pam Feger in the pink on lanes 59 and 60 play a little bit more inside of where Gideon was playing, and she was still able to get the ball up to the pocket and carry. And obviously that side's not going to break down as much as because the majority of our field seem to be right-handed.
Less traffic. How's Kay Johnson doing? Any idea? Jason?
Well, actually,
Kay is 55A.
Yeah.
She's got a double spare.
Told you. It's my horse.
That's your horse, yeah.
Yeah, I watched the shot in the second frame. I must have missed her first frame, but I watched her strike in the second, and she seems pretty confident out there.
I like Ross Lyons, too. He's got a nice look. Just threw that strike on lane 59.
Yeah, I believe Ross is out. Is Ross out of Dallas or is he out of Phoenix? I think he's out of Phoenix.
Yeah, Ross Lyons is actually out of Phoenix.
Yeah.
He actually, Kingman, so he bowls both the Vegas and the Phoenix branch.
He's been throwing the ball well all week so far that I've seen him. Really throwing the ball good.
Well, he's the guy that's been raising the eyebrows, being able to touch 3 and 2, and make it back to the head pin. So
Sure.
he had a standout set, bowled really well. Three 250 games. So
Wow.
nice shot there on 53. Chris Walker out of Salt Lake.
Nice guy. Good bowler. Funny. He's got, his dad and 3 other brothers Or no, I'm sorry. It's dad and 3 brothers.
Right.
4 of them here.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole family's here.
Yep.
You'll see there was a nice shot on 58. Rich Harada, ex-helicopter pilot, still twirling the ball.
That is so wrong. You know how many times I tried to help Rich keep his hand underneath that bowling ball? He just can't do it.
No. But he maximizes whatever, he can get.
He still finds a way.
Yeah, he does. He does. That was a great shot by Kyle on 58.
Yeah, he's starting to get lined up.
Yep. Nice shot by Dennis Joel on 56.
Doing exactly what I taught him.
Got Kay Johnson up here on 56.
That's my Kay Johnson right there. You know what that's called, boys? That's a 10-pin party in the pit for Kay Johnson.
Yeah, we have one of our former national champions, Jerry Meisner on 55. Going after a 10, he's going to be short. Okay. Oop. Luis Bloom chopping off 2-4-5. Another spare that seems to be quite difficult so far this week.
Gabe Red Lucetta on lane 59.
He's been working on his game a lot lately.
Yeah, he really has. Well, I tell you, once he got into the sport of bowling, he's all in. I mean, he's crazy, man.
He was telling me yesterday how he just got the Rocket about a week ago. A new ball by Storm, and he was just absolutely raving about how great that ball was. Oh, it's my favorite ball. I love it. I did this. I did that.
All right, makes the 10. Yeah, Gabe hooked up into a PBA Experience League at the Holiday Lanes in Lakewood. The guys are putting their teams together, ready to go to El Paso. They got a couple regional champions that are in town that are in that league trying to help Gabe out. It almost turned into a practice session. Now they're up to about 24, 26 bowlers all coming in playing the pattern that's going to be out there and trying to see if they can break it down, what equipment's going to suit them best. And we'll see how it goes. Scores are starting to go up in El Paso finally. Nice shot. Yeah, Ross has pretty much got the look on 59 and 60 right now.
Yeah. Scott Pohl, after that opening frame in the first where he chopped the spare, he's come back with a 3-bagger.
And again, in this format, top 16 scores with handicap are going to advance in round 2, and the bottom half is eliminated. You'll see a maximum of 5 rounds today.
So this is kind of a bonus squad. It didn't cost the players anything to bowl this.
Almost nothing. $20.
Oh.
A shot at 500.
Well, they didn't cost them anything to bowl in this round, of course.
Oh no, it's semifinals. No.
Yeah, semifinals. Obviously, all of them cash, and as the side event, it was 25.
25.
Yeah. That's a great thing as well, of course, with our formats in the ABT. There's so much offered during the week. Keeps you in the center, gives you something to do.
Yep.
Qualifying the main event early is the goal, and then all these side events, great way to add some extra money in the wallet.
Yeah, because before when we only had basically one tournament, if you came out on a Monday or a Tuesday and made it, there really was nothing else to bowl.
Right.
Until Sunday morning. You guys are running to other bowling centers and trying to keep their game sharp. Come back on Sunday.
How about Kay Johnson? Huh? You guys thought I was crazy when I told you that.
Well, we know that you're crazy, but you are correct.
How much handicap is she getting?
Enough where she is
a lot, right?
Gonna make it with no problem.
Well, you know, it's fairly relative to her ability to cash in the event, which ABT specializes in, taking care of their club members. Kay isn't treated any differently. You know, at her age and her skill level, her handicap matches that. Number of times she enters versus the number of times she receives a prize check is all taken into account when those handicaps are formulated. So one could say that it's a lot, but more times than not, she needs every one of those pins just to get in the field.
Because I remember some national events where Kay literally bowled all week and just couldn't crack it.
Yeah, you know, I've watched her bowl 12, 16 squads at her age. She's just amazing.
Yeah, she is.
And there's times where she makes it early as well, which is kind of make sure our rib dinner on Fridays is protected because we don't need her getting too wore out.
Really.
Have you guys been watching any of the PBA team?
I was able to catch a little bit of
the league, the PBA League Championships.
Yeah, I've been able to catch some on the DVR. Absolutely.
What do you think? Pretty fun, huh?
Well, sometimes it doesn't make me feel so bad missing a 10 pin.
Oh yeah, show one was not what you wanted to watch if you were trying to improve your spare game.
That's right. They made fun, and the crowd up there was amazing. So it was quite the energetic scene so far from what I've seen up there. Where was that, Maine?
Portland, Maine.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've noticed they've really they've wanted the crowd to really get into it again, as far as crowd noise while the bowlers are bowling.
You know, that's a little different environment there. It's a 12-lane center. We use lanes 6 and 7 for the championship, not 5 and 6 or 7 and 8. 6 and 7, which basically split the house in half.
Yeah.
And logistically, we needed to do that. But what was cool about it was that each team had their own ball return.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty wild.
Definitely.
Nice shot there.
Yeah.
Chris Robinson?
No relation to Robbie Robinson.
No.
How do you... Hey, Jason, when talking about his release, Richard Hirata, what would you call that? That's not a Taiwanese helicopter release.
No, and it really wasn't any pun intended. He actually was a Huey pilot in the military. Probably, I couldn't specify the year, so I really wasn't making any reference to him being a helicopter pilot.
I didn't know that. I thought you were talking about his ball roll.
No, for real. He was in the Army for, I think he's even U.S. Army retired, so actual Huey pilot. I don't know if that is why he throws the ball the way he does, that one could describe as more of a helicopter release, but so yeah, I was thinking you in the audience might have taken it that way, so sorry Rich.
But that's exactly how I took it.
It almost looks like a spinner, but it's kind of... But it's not. Yeah.
His track's got to be about the size of a quarter.
As a matter of fact, now that I dig into my memory banks, I do remember Rich showing me some pictures of his serving in Vietnam, flying Huey. So that's
that puts him in the 60-ish year range.
Makes it obviously a great privilege to have members that out there on the floor that served in our military, protecting our country. So I can't.
Rich is a great guy.
Oh, he's amazing,
and he will not give up.
No, bowls out of the Northern California branch, so I get to see him quite often when I'm in that part of the country. So
He was one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Absolutely.
Keeps himself in amazing shape, too. I got to try to make sure I do that by the time I'm his age. Just not now. There's ribs in the tournament office.
Who made those?
Kay Johnson.
Wow.
Duh.
I didn't get the memo on that, guys.
Yeah.
You know better.
How about this setup on lane 58?
Yes,
The hard and straight one.
that's a pretty unique style.
Isaiah Liebel, I believe is how you pronounce his name.
Oh, good shot,
shot, yeah.
by Pam on lane 60. Only to leave the ringing 7. You know what would be cool is if she came back and buried her foot in the ball return. Okay, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
Oh, Gabe,
nice
nice shot.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Scott Pohl, trouble on lane 56 after going open 4-bagger. Now he's left with a 2-4-10. If he misses that, he'll just be in the 200s.
Yes.
Actually, no, he'll drop to 190. He's lost count.
Yeah. 7 on the double.
No, he should still be in the 200s, though. I can't read the scoreboard here.
Yeah, it's difficult. Right now he's on a 180 pace. High 180 pace.
I disagree with you, Nick. I think right now he's at a 204 pace.
Well, I can't see if it's 3 frames to go or 4. It's 4 frames to go. Okay, he is on a 2-0.
Well, it's 6
2-0
frames
pace,
he's
yeah.
bowled. It's 2 opens and a 4-bagger. Puts him at 2-0. If he didn't lose too much count, he's at 204.
Right.
And I was told there wouldn't be any math.
Right.
I didn't get that memo. See? Nobody's getting memos.
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
What we have here is a bunch of people hoping we don't quit our day job.
Yes.
Listen, you get what you pay for, buddy. All right. Dennis. How do you say his last? Joel?
Yeah.
Up on lane 53. Let's see if he's keeping that right shoulder back. Yeah, a little tuggy.
Yep, little tug.
Little tuggy.
There's a nice shot there by Trent May on lane 59. Just a second ago, he's out of Salt Lake.
Yep.
Yeah. His whole family comes down as well.
You got Trent. You got Travis. Who else?
Your dad,
Dad.
Eldon Pierce.
Eldon.
Another brother Adam.
Gus.
Great group that always makes it to the events.
No, he does get the 7 out. Kyle Fujimoto on lane 57.
All right, guys, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Kay Johnson leads game 1 with her handicap.
Well, that's nice, but it really doesn't mean anything.
Hey, it does to me.
Right. This is where you just don't want to be 17th.
Yes.
You know, the
correct.
score is,
Top 16 will advance.
yeah.
Yeah, she's in great shape. She's throwing the ball very well. Now that I said that, she doesn't hit that pin. Leaves 1-2-4.
You know, when we look at the diversification of the field, when you've got a Scott Pohl and a Kay Johnson both on the same floor having the same opportunity, both of them are still required to throw good shots, make some spares. Obviously, Kay doesn't need to throw as many strikes as Scott will to advance, but at the same time, she's not capable of throwing the same number of strikes as Scotty, so that's where the level competition is
Another
created.
ball that's bowling pretty good is Everett Nishikawa on 54.
Yeah.
Started out in the old San Jose branch. Now I believe he's in Vegas. Is that
He
correct?
bowls the Vegas branch, but he still lives in Seattle.
Oh, he's in Seattle?
Works for Boeing, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little side information about one of our members.
It's going to be almost impossible, Randy, because we don't know what the individuals' handicap are up here in the booth. How close and what that number is going to be after round one.
Plus, that involves math,
which we didn't sign up for. So we're lucky we don't have those numbers. I'll see if I can't, once we get down to 16, get a little more information on that group where we have a little bit more knowledge on the rounds moving forward.
Be nice if the scoring units actually could factor in the handicap. And, you'd think today's day and age it would be easy enough to set up your A, B, C, and D and punch in a handicap number right next to it and then let them have at it. They have a running total on the right there where you know what real-time score is.
Well, there's several scoring systems that make that happen, of course, and I think the way, I'm not going to consider myself an expert on it, but this facility is not necessarily, based on the open scoring system, which I don't think this is exactly what you're going to see when you're here for the women's in 16 or the men and the mixed in 17.
See, and you can't see it. For those that are listening in, you can't see the scratch tournament going off to the left there. That scoring is perfect. You can see the plus minus. You can see the running scores. I guess it's just a matter of when you get 7 or 8 bodies on one pair of lanes.
Yeah, it's basically about
the
time.
format changes a little bit.
Yeah, it's basically about time. It takes some time to put in all the individuals' information and stuff. We want to get these guys on the floor and get going. But obviously, as we will see as we get into the top 32, for example, for the national singles and the scratch event, you'll see exactly that. You'll see the bowlers score. Obviously, in a scratch, it's scratch, but they're running plus minus in that top 8 round robin format.
Yeah, but I think Randy's right. I mean, when there's 4 participants on each lane, the amount of screen used up for that scoring, where we can all see it big and bright. Some of the columns are void in terms of running totals and handicaps, and plus and minus. Another great shot by Kyle, 58.
Kay actually threw a good ball, left herself to 10 pin, and then missed it, unfortunately.
It's okay. She's allowed. She's almost 80. She's bowling a pretty solid game, though. She's actually right at 201 right now. Pretty good stuff for Kay Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Tell you, see if I can find Scott Pohl's game here. Let's see. Okay, all right. So he came back after that open frame with a strike in the 8th.
I think that was a strike in the 7th.
7th, yeah.
Oh, what did I say, 8th?
Yeah. It's that math thing again.
Hey, disregard.
Yes.
Make that the 7th frame.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah, I got a chair.
We just got a chair for Jason Langtree. Hey, Jason, take a load off.
Scott Sledgister, our producer, is running around making sure we're taking care of as best as possible.
Yeah,
if you have not seen anything about this beautiful facility here at South Point, it's you got to come in and check it out. Bowlers especially, but what a huge venue.
It really is beautiful. And Mike Moniak and his staff, what a tremendous job Mike and his people have done here. It's just great. I've had the opportunity to already call some action here, with the PBA Tour, and it was a real honor to have Mike Moniak come up to me and say how fantastic his center looked on national television. I said, well, I'd like to take the credit for that, but that would be the director and the producer. And
Yeah.
I just try to stay out of the way and let them do what they do best. And boy, he was very, very pleased with.
Well, you know,
everything
the
looked.
amazing thing, you know, they actually opened, about 10 months ahead of schedule?
Yeah, they were ahead of schedule. It was pretty
And it was,
impressive.
was able to get the World Series of Bowling in here a year earlier than they thought they were going to do initially. And we followed them a couple weeks after that.
Down there on 53, this is a name that we can let Randy try to pronounce now. Chontita, she bowls out of the Vegas branch, and there's Auntie Crayon, the last name approximately. So she's her and Tip are always great supporters of the ABT. It was a nice shot she just threw.
Chantita at the Prayon.
You know, that's about as good as it's going to get. Good job, Randy.
You know, and I know her really well too. I've called some of her action before. I've seen her bowl a lot of ABT events, and I know her because she's the one person that has a name I can't pronounce.
Right.
So, of course, she's going to win side pots, and we're going to have to
Announce her.
So, all right. So, what is the correct pronunciation?
Well, again, I'm going to say you did very well. Chontita is how I would pronounce the first name, and then Athiprayon is how I pronounce the last name. And somewhere across the country, she has family members listening to this that are angry with me right now.
Now, is she Thai?
Yes.
Now, you know what my favorite food is.
I have to thank Thai food.
It is. I wonder if I could get a recipe from her. No, I'm being dead serious. Thai food's my favorite by far.
Absolutely. I like to order it as spicy as I can get it.
I can only do 3 stars.
Yeah. You know, sometimes it's 1 to 4.
All right, so what's
for
your
spice.
favorite? Like, I like the basil sauce. I like anything with basil sauce. I like the garlic pepper sauce. And I can do a ginger sauce.
All 3 of those are great. I'm not going to say that I'm pretty generic when I eat Thai food, definitely. Just make it hot and make it look like, just give me some hot noodles and lots of vegetables in it and lots of curry.
And I will watch both of you eat it because I'm not going there. I am just not into that.
So, Jason, is there a Thai restaurant close by that's a favorite of yours?
2 up on the west side. There's one called Aranya. That's a really great place.
On the west side?
Yeah, so it would be up off of Town Center, actually. Town Center and Sahara would be, Desert Inn would be near the location of that. I've been gone from Vegas now for almost 2 years. I'm going to assume that great restaurant is still there. And then there's also another one in the shopping center at basically Durango and Flamingo. The name of the restaurant escapes me, but it was a favorite of mine as well.
Ooh, great shot on 57. Leaves him the 9 pin. Oof.
By the way, did anybody see the split converted in the 9th frame by Kay Johnson?
I believe it was a baby split.
Was it?
I believe so.
Okay. Hey. Split's a split, sir. She converted it.
And
Right.
she's bowling great.
Again, getting back to kind of the club, the family atmosphere, if you will. You have somebody like Kay Johnson who knows just how hard the ABT crew works, how many hours that everybody works, and she takes time in between bowling all the squads that she does to make food for the ABT staff.
Amazing.
And it's not like she's just throwing something together either.
Oh.
I mean, she makes some pretty good grub.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's pretty much a staple of the event. We get, I think tomorrow, we get some lumpia brought in by, sorry. Help me out, Chief.
I'm a blank. I know who you mean, though, but
Yeah. It's just the great things. It's very rewarding. We know they're here enjoying the event, but it's kind of just a testament to that they do actually appreciate.
they appreciate us. Yes.
It's tough on them bowling these long events, spending decent amount of money with a chance to win a lot of money, and they still take the time out to treat us. thank us, so we always appreciate it. I want to say it's Noel Espiritu that brings the lumpia, but that I think is wrong. Down there on the floor running this squad for us is the NorCal branch manager, Ben Ramulia. He'd definitely know, because I believe the members out of his branch that brings the lumpia. And what do you call that on air, Randy, when you start a story that you actually can't complete with factual data? What is that? There's got to be something in the business that's called.
Well, Jason, one of the first things you learn in broadcasting is don't ever let the truth get in the way of a good story. Listen, I'm going to leave you. I'm just going to leave you with this one thought when it pertains to doing television. I met the ex-president of ABC Sports once. I don't need to tell you his name. And this was earlier in my broadcasting career, and he told me, Randy, in the 40-plus years that I've been in television, I have yet to be involved in or watch a perfect show from a production standpoint. There's always going to be mistakes. And, when it's something that can be edited, you're fine. And if it's live television, and as soon as that word comes out, you can't take it back.
Right.
And as long as you're not dropping bad words out there, and you just do the best you can, and you try to. The other advice that I got was always make sure you speak the truth, because if I said something that was factual and truthful about a player, whether they liked it or not, they couldn't come back to me and say, "Hey, why did you say that?" Well, it was true, wasn't it? Well, yes, but there's no but. And, me and my personality, I never beat our players up anyway. I respect the sport, and I respect how great and talented our players are. And I'm not going to Johnny Miller them. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how easy it is when I'm not out there doing it.
Right.
And I'm not going to beat somebody up for, missing a spare. I mean, it's part of the game, and that stuff, unfortunately happens from time to time, and that's that. So everybody's got their own style. You do the best you can with what you have. And I like to talk our players up. I like to talk the sport up, because I think our sport's been through enough. We don't need to be beating it up anymore.
I absolutely agree.
Kay Johnson's up here waving at us. I don't know if did we get that? No, she was out of
200.
Was she? I don't think we could see her though. Yeah, she shoots a nice 2-0 game. She's going to be moving on. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Pretty easy also, knowing that she gets a fair amount of handicap. Half the field is not going to beat her.
She gets like 1,031 pins handicap a game.
I will have to say.
Okay, we just threw factual right out the door.
Well, yeah.
So we're going to be cut down to 16. Kay Johnson probably gets what does she get, like 40, 45 a game?
No, it's definitely higher than that.
Is it?
Yeah, it might be more.
If we put it into perspective based on participation and cashing ratio, Scott Pohl's got 14, okay? So out there in the scratch world and some of the events that you'll see Scotty bowling in, some of his buddies and peers, so to speak, may wonder, wow, that seems like that would be a lot of handicap for Scott, we would be able to say, right? 14 for Scott, that's a lot. But it's still, again, Scott would be treated just like what Kay is, based on Scott's entry fees paid, the number of times he cashes within our cashing ratio. It all comes into factor. His dollar is looked at, his participation is looked at just like Kay. So for me, I tend to not necessarily like the word that somebody has a lot of handicap. They have a level of handicap that fits what's required to have them be competitive in this club.
Right.
Well, that's what we came out with the bonus pin thing years ago. What it boils down to, we give every bowler an opportunity to cash.
Well, but I mean, basically, guys, what you're saying is for people that are tuning in maybe for the first time, you guys have a system It's not like you just start pulling numbers out of a hat. I mean,
No,
it's the same system. It's a fair system, and it works.
Yes.
Right.
And it's the same for everyone.
It is the
Yes.
same for everyone. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to understand maybe the outside world, especially you look down at the sheet with Scotty. I mean, we all know this guy. A lot of the players will know him. Even for example, just coming off frame here, Dustin Waring. I just bowled a scratch event with him in Butte, Montana. A fabulous event up there called the Ring and 10 at Star Lanes. Little plug for them. They do a great job hosting ABT events in Montana. But here's a really talented guy that's also got some handicap on this floor. But primarily probably bowls scratch events what would draw his most attention.
Well, and to give you an example also, Randy, when Scott started to participate out of the Twin Cities branch ABT, he came in at 0.
Right.
He literally had no handicap. So, but he likes to compete, and at the time we had Masters Classic, so he was in the upper end of the average base for our club, 190 to 225. And even then he was spotting the field mark and a half.
Sure.
But he continues to come out. And like Jason said, he has, I don't want to say he's earned it, but we have to give him an opportunity to get competitive on these varying shots. Even though he's a great bowler, again, he's spotting the field so much that we have to give him the ability to cash eventually.
Ross Lyons here on lane 60. One more strike here for 240. Oh, no.
Wow.
Did you see that?
Wow.
It was almost in the ditch, and it goes high.
It was in a ditch at 50 feet.
This is what I was telling you what I watched in qualifying. I mean, that's a ball that's touching 1. I mean, the 1.5, and it goes high. So, he has some room. I mean, he's got 7-1 out there. So, and that's great when that happens. We all like that type of area that if we can create it.
That's a great start. 234. So he's going to be in the 250s with his handicap.
Yeah, he's around the 198 with his tournament average here at Nationals. So that's probably roughly 20 pins. 18, 20 pins. I just didn't know if he had any bonus pins or not. So, but yeah, 18, 20 pins, 18. So.
Hey, what do you think I would come in at?
Well, we'd probably put you in. You're against this field, you're probably going to need about 15. I watched you bowl on the batter. You're going to need about 15 pins.
He loves it.
Hey, at least you're honest. I like it.
No, it's funny. It's an interesting role that I have in the ABT, and years ago, and actually in 2007, it takes about 2 national tournaments for me to nickname Mr. Nicholas Orsa here, the legend. And I think I can actually take credit for that nickname. I'm proud of that.
Yes,
and now we're already giving away LJs, which is Legend Junior. There's a Legend Junior out on the floor. With Michael Fagan, it's all in good fun. But in all seriousness, without pioneering, ABT as an organization like Nick and Joe Daly and Bill Cobble did, younger generation type directors myself, I take it very serious. I really want people to, and all the bowlers out there as well as spectators, to understand what the ABT really is, and I think when we use terms like, wow, there's Scott's spotting the field so much handicap, or Kay has a lot of handicap, I think that's just kind of feeding into the overall perception of what handicap bowling is, and if in a world of just all scratch bowling, well, we know where scratch bowling really is, and it's just because the separation of talent these days, I don't want to consider myself really that knowledgeable, but the difference between me, a 215 average bowler, bowling against Randy, I'm not 1 mark or 2 marks away from you, Randy, and that's why,
especially over the period of games.
Right. So, I really don't want to sound like I'm really more trying to educate the bowler that's not bowling us right now.
Right. And here's the other difference that we try to, that the reason that we're different. Association tournaments, state tournaments, where an individual gets set handicap based off his league average. It's a one and done. They come in at their high book from the prior year, 2 years, however the association deems it's necessary. Calculates their average based on their ability, and They go out and they bowl singles, doubles team. They're in the all events, so on and so forth.
Then 1 year
This
later,
is
they're
a
gonna do
whole
it again.
different ballgame.
Right.
Because it's a weekly competition. This is the fruits of all their bowling in their local branches throughout the 10 months prior to this, where they could come in. And yet we have to sit there and give them an ability level to make them competitive, but yet not overly, or don't do it enough where we create an unfair advantage.
Right. I think we place too much focus in competition these days. I don't ever hear too much, being a golfer as Randy is, and, I'm just a bogey player, but I don't ever hear anybody saying, nobody's judged out there by how far you can hit it or how whereas in bowling, we put so much focus on how much handicap someone has. And I think that's the nature of the beast. It's kind of a hard thing to avoid. But your real opponent out there is that lane condition.
Absolutely.
And when each person, if you bowl your average in a tournament, I don't care what your handicap is. If you bowl your average doesn't really get you anything. So everybody starts to raise an eyebrow sometimes when someone bowls over their average. You look at Kay Johnson shooting a 200 game. Well, that's obviously over her average. But let's just analyze what happens to Kay when she shoots her average. She's not even in this field if she shoots her average.
Right.
So an average is truly what it is, and the handicap is based off of that average performance. So these bowlers, these members, they're expected to excel above their average in order to make the semifinals of another round. And then we talk about, possibly, but that's not their true ability. That was their ability on that day. They bowled well. They had a good look. Things went their way. They got some good breaks. Because average, on the most part, they don't make the field.
Right.
That's why we have 26 squads.
Yes.
And here's the other thing. If you're going to bowl 26 times, you're probably going to make it. But if this was a one-squad tournament, most of these people aren't in this field.
Yes, that's correct.
So it's very complex. My job is to follow in the footsteps of the legend and the Joe Daly's and Bill Cobbles and the education process to grow our organization and expand it and continue offering the average handicap bowler and the upper skilled bowler like a Scott Pohl the same opportunities. That's going to be my job for the same 35 years you just did it. And we'll continue as long as you want to, obviously. I'm not trying to retire you, sir.
No, but make me an offer.
It will be one you'll refuse.
How many zeros are on that check?
Right. And so with this forum, being able to sit in front of bowlers, and that are not here right now, wondering what we're doing, who we are, who these players are, really this is it's just great to hopefully educate or intrigue some players that are not here, and then we'll see them here in the future.
And the great part about this is they can come out and join as a national member.
Right.
So if you're out there and there isn't an ABT branch close to you, know that we run 4 events minimum in Vegas a year in the next couple of years, but with obviously the stadium having the USBC and then the women in the next couple of years, where we're going to be limited to how many times we can come out. Still, that's twice a year.
Yeah.
But they can come out and give it a shot.
And it's very brand new. It's probably a nice time maybe to have a little segue on it as the staff down there is determining the top 16 from the first round here. We don't penetrate. We have roughly 27 branches in the Amateur Bowlers Tour in the lower 48, and we still are not penetrating but 10% of where we really need to be penetrating. And we have a great announcement coming up with what we're calling the ABT $3 million regional tour. And this might even be new to you a little bit, Nick, and definitely for Randy.
I've already heard about this. And
we can't have a branch in every city, but we can bring a $10,000 first place guaranteed event for a low entry fee in the $100, $135 range for the average to upper skill level bowler that you may travel 4 to 8 hours for. And and these will rotate very regularly with the desired schedule by 2016 to have 60 of these tournaments going on an annual basis. So not only will you have the opportunity to go to Vegas still, or the Chicago Midwest Nationals, and I just heard the cut was being announced, so I'll get that written down by Nick. Plus 14 for the top 16, and so basically 214 and over with handicap, of course, is going to advance. So you can argue, actually, Randy, if you want to get away from the regional tour here quick, 214 with handicap on a 70% system, that's really not a big number.
No.
So, you know, a guy like Scott, he obviously needed to shoot 200 flat to be able to make it with his 14 pins, so I'm not sure.
He shot 220.
There we go. So, you know, he had a few bad, you know, he
had 2 opens for 222.
Right, 2 opens. You know, you take a guy like Scott, leave him 2 opens in a normal scratch of any bowls, and he's probably not advancing.
I agree. But yes, I did hear from Myron a little bit about this $3 million tour. I'm very intrigued. So why don't you finish your story?
So we're going to be launching in a few areas, roughly a dozen to 16 here, a dozen to 16 tournaments in 2015, beginning on Memorial Weekend with the NorCal $10,000 regional. We have events scheduled in Dallas, North Carolina, Chicago, Twin Cities. Of course, the 10,000 regional that was kind of already running in Vegas, but of course the Vegas events, Portland, and so this there'll be roughly $75,000 purses that will create just an amazing opportunity to put ABT even further on the map. It'll make a larger impact on bowling. I think a lot of people may scratch their head and wonder if it's real and what's going on, and I'm going to love those questions. So just imagine being able, and we'll be running a point system, kind of a player of the year type deal, but it'll be more structured towards point systems, sending people with benefits in the national tournaments in Vegas and Chicago. It's going to be something that probably ABT has really never done before.
No, it's never been done before.
And it's of a large enough scale, just a large enough scale to make people think it's real or not, so I really like that about it. It's going to give individuals a lot more opportunity to participate in the Amateur Bowlers Tour and win money that is really, really on, you know, it's other than winning $1,000 a weekend or maybe $1,500 a weekend in Nick's branch in Denver. You know, $10,000 on these tournaments is going to change a lot of bowlers. Well, it could change your year, right? Winning $10,000 can really help you out.
Please make sure you follow your letter, follow the arrow.
$10,000 is a nice hit.
Make sure the arrows are pointed towards your letter. The next ball you roll will be for score. Good luck and good bowling, and thank you for bowling up a storm.
Well, we're obviously going to see the pace pick up a little bit here now that we're down to 4 bowlers on a pair at our top 16.
Do they get any practice?
No, they will roll straight into scoring.
Yep.
So big advantage for Scott Pulley, gets to stay on the same pair of lanes.
That can be good, it can be bad.
Yeah, we're about to find out. Well, of course, Randy's favorite, Kay Johnson, up on lane 54. First shot out of the gate. Leaves the 10-pin.
You know, it's obvious to me watching her bowl. Her game is so nice, so relaxed. You got to wonder, and don't take this the wrong way, but as a more active female when she was in her 30s and 40s, how good she was compared to everybody else.
Yeah, you know, I would have loved to see that.
I would have too.
You know, and I'm sure she would love to share some of those stories with us, because she's been bowling for a long time. Nice spare conversion by Kay. Well, I'm seeing quite a few high shots here, so obviously the players are getting a little bit behind the transition here. We should see maybe a little bit of movement to the left if the players recognize that they need to. Easy for us up here, I guess.
It's always a lot easier to see from behind, even as we're running tournaments during the week, and
Right.
a lot easier to. We see them all the time this way, them going to the foul line, and we know when their game is good, and we obviously can pick out when there's something in their game that's not good. And us as directors, that's part of our job too. Once it's over, to pull them off to the side and say, okay, this is why you did not do as well as you thought, or
Sure.
you think you were having a problem with your game, and this is what I think it is, and work the kinks out for them so that they want to come back and try again. And they always want to get better.
Yeah, of course, we always desire to spend some time post-event with our members, but again, we deal with such a diverse knowledge base and skill level. We've got those that are going to come back and do the same thing over and over and struggle just the same, and hopefully look out for guys like Randy and to give them some pointers and give them some lessons and stuff. And I think that's a big thing in bowling that we've seen over the years is, especially in league formats, and the bowlers that don't improve over time, they stay stuck at a 165 or 185. I don't even care if it's stuck at a 220 average. It becomes it's kind of like plateauing when you work out or something. It's kind of tough to keep on bench pressing when you're stuck at 210 pounds on bench. And I think our bowlers go through the same problem where they don't improve. They don't necessarily know how to improve. They don't understand the game well enough to improve. And it's up to us to watch over that and have great spokespeople like Randy and other people come to the event. When Tim Mack was here, and anytime we got our Storm representatives like Lee on the floor, as well as we've had Del Monte here and Malott, and when we have those individuals come out and help our bowlers, Ballard, Liz Johnson, Leanne, PDW, all the great people that our members get to interact with to try to help them, really sets us apart.
I believe so. I really do. We're just not we're not just a tournament organization. We're a social group. We're a family, but we're willing to bring anybody in that qualifies and make them a part of our family. And then our job also is to try to give them all the avenues that we possibly can to help improve their game for them.
Right. Obviously, our national co-sponsor, Storm Bowling Products Incorporated, being able to put some great equipment in their hands through our gold program. The matchmakers that are provided. It's a really complete organization that offers a lot to the bowling community that I think our mission is always going to be to get the maximum number of people to recognize and become knowledgeable about what we do and present, and hopefully make the choice to come and see what we're about.
And again, that's a beautiful thing about live streaming too, because you're getting to see it live,
right?
See exactly what's going on. You're looking at skill level, both good and not so good.
Sure.
Which is that's
the great part, right?
Yeah.
We watched Ruth Keck up here throwing the shot, and this is gonna hit home with hopefully a couple of female or a lot of female bowlers out there. That wow, look at that! She's out there. I throw the ball like her. I probably got a similar average as her, and here she is at the ABT National Tournament and's got a chance to win some great money. I think one of the largest factors is I always hear out there when I'm on the lanes talking ABT to bowlers is I'm not good enough, and so this represents that good enough is not relative. It's for those that want to come out and try, because people are really better bowlers than they think. And even when you're not that great a bowler or you don't think you are, I really think this is a platform to help you improve. And let's be completely honest, the handicap system, it's not going to let you donate.
Right.
And it's also not going to let you dominate. The system's,
correct.
The system doesn't let either of those two happen.
Right. And once a bowler understands that and realizes that is the case, he feels completely at home, knows he has a fair chance to compete and make some money.
Right. And, when it comes down to, we all want to win every time we take the floor.
Of course.
And I think it's a hard reality when you have to realize that you can't, even in this type of a format where, 1 and 8 between, depending on, certain numbers of people's on each squad between 1 and 6, 1 and 8. That means that, there's not everybody can make it.
Correct.
So it's going to be okay that you didn't make it in this tournament because there's going to be another one right around the corner for you to come out and try again.
Right.
So
and we also put them on different patterns on a weekly basis. So what?
Right.
Sometimes the pattern just happens to fit into your A game, where it gives you feel more relaxed. You with muscle memory, you're going to just do what you normally do, and then you happen to do better.
Yeah.
And you're going to be on shots that you've never been on before, and we're going to teach you how to break them down, how it transitions, and how to do the best you can based on your ability.
Yeah. And, we have to be honest with ourselves as well when it comes to breaking lanes down. We have amateur players out there throwing all different types of ball surfaces, from 500 to 4,000 polish, and they're playing all different parts of the lanes. And listen, this isn't Lacaze's team, shooting 3380 out there where they just really know how to pummel the lane, blow it wide open for themselves. And we've seen this time and time again when we give certain formats where, PDW and Liz Johnson, Leanne Barrett, and Randy Peterson took the floor in that doubles tournament, that trio tournament, sorry. Even PDW struggled just because of what these amateur players do to the lanes.
Correct.
And I suppose when you're in a team event, just yourself on the lane, I'm a competitor out there too. I don't need to break the lane down for the guy that's qualifying with me, against me.
Yeah, that's true.
And the amateurs just don't do that. And I think, they didn't break the lanes down right. Well, this is the beauty. You can come out here on this platform and bowl your game. And, if you're able to score on fourth arrow or you can score on first arrow, and everybody wants you to be, to break the lane down right, you should be playing third arrow. That doesn't matter here, I don't think.
Right. And realistically, the way the cuts are based on the different patterns that we put them on,
right?
Be it one of the Kegel patterns, Team USA, the PBA.
Sure.
It brings spare shooting back to the important aspect of making it.
And this is why you're the legend, Nick, because that's a really amazing comment. This tournament has always been about spares. Try to keep yourself out of a little bit of trouble. And this is why, someone like Scott and Pam Feger can bowl together and compete on the same platform, because when they both make spares, and when, and Pam makes more spares, and then Scott strikes, this is why they're together. Let's face it, if Scott struck every time, he's going to win.
Right.
But this spares is really, really key. And it's it's a lost element to bowling.
Yes, it really is.
I mean, you look at an average league night with 6 and 7 strikes a game, and of course, that's maybe for the upper end player. Spares are shot less and less, and the big thing, I watch all the amateur players hook at their spares, and we've actually watched here. We watched a couple 7-pins get picked up with the ball actually touching the 10 board on the right side before it hooked across the lane to hit the 7-pin. And I asked myself as a okay bowler myself, right? Why do I want to do that?
Yes.
Why do I want to cover that many boards to make a 7-pin and put the lane condition in play to make me have an open frame?
Yeah, but take it another couple of levels. The greatest players to ever grace the lanes have all been great spare shooters.
Absolutely.
Mark Roth,
Pete Weber.
Oh.
I mean, these guys are Walter A. Williams. These guys are great spare shooters.
Right. Yeah, and so that still is the fundamental of this tournament, that the spares, and that's the difference. I'd like to actually touch on that as we watch these great matches. I don't think we're making enough comments about some of maybe the great shots we're seeing, but the difference between a 160 bowler and a 200 bowler is the number of spares they miss, because in today's game they all get to the head pin.
Yes.
Okay, so the head pin's not taken away. Even on this shot, we have not taken the head pin away. So the pocket is accessible. So we look at a bowler like Pam Feger and Kay Johnson, and then we go to a Ross Lyons and a Scott Pull. They're all getting to the pocket. It's just what happens after they all don't fall down is what separates them.
Correct.
And it's obvious that Kay and Pam are going to miss more spares than Scott and Ross.
Yeah, the message that I always give my ABT people, when they ask me, Randy, how do you play the lanes? What about this? What about that? The last thing I always mention to them, make your spares, you'll make money. Right. Period. But how many of them do you think actually leave a tournament saying, wow, I missed so many spares this week. I'm going to go home and I'm going to work on my spare game. My physical game is my physical game, and I don't throw the big hook or I don't throw it faster or I don't whatever. But there's no excuse for not practicing shooting spares and not being able to make the corner pins and not being able to to throw a straighter ball at the 610 and convert your spares.
Yeah, the old saying still applies. You strike for show, but you spare for dough, just like you said.
Right. And I think that we're working within the framework of the modern family, the modern world where the time on the lanes is not as available with your family life and your work life and paying the bills, and we still provide a platform that's still fair for even the player that doesn't have time to work on their game. I think that's the other misconception. I can't bowl tournaments because that's the I'm not good enough thing, but we are not asking this we give you the opportunity here at this tournament with the matchmakers and with Randy, and we can get you some practice, and I don't always recommend necessarily taking full-blown lessons and stuff at a tournament, but this is still a platform where while you're here this week, this can be not only a tournament but a great practice and a learning session for you to improve your game a bit. You find a way to make one extra spare a game. That's 30 pins a set. How many people do we see that miss by just 10, 15, 20 pins on any cut, and that's one spare a game?
Yep.
Or pin count.
Sure. I mean,
a
absolutely.
split.
Yeah.
Where they try to make realistically for them an unmakeable split, and rather than get the 2 out of the 3 pins in the split, they try to make it, wind up getting 1. They're on a strike. Now they're down 2, and they wind up missing a cut by 2, 3 pins. You can look at that one individual frame right there. And, of course, that's not the only one. But that's the one that they remember.
So, as we watch these competitors and describe the platform and hopefully invite more people through, I think it's I wish we had more opportunity to address our audience with this platform and live streaming, and I think that we're going to be presented that, as we move forward.
I think the cool part, and it's always been that way, in Denver some 20 years ago, I did a weekly bowling show with Irv Brown, who's a legend in the state of Colorado, ex-NBA referee, was a coach, baseball, basketball at CU. It was great working with Irv, but it was the same. It was the same thing. But what we want to do is local bowlers want to watch local bowlers.
Sure.
And it doesn't matter whether it's handicap, scratch. It's that I bowl league with that guy, or I know that person, or I read about that person, and the viewership's actually incredible.
Right.
And I think as people get more and more used to with their smartphones or iPhones or whatever, where they can pick up this live stream on a weekly basis on a Sunday evening when we're doing match play, wherever we're at, whether it be in Denver or be in one of your branches, that it gets them rekindled into saying, I think I can do that, and get out and do it.
Chris Walker here on lane 60, shooting the 2-8. Another good player from, I believe, Salt Lake City.
Correct.
Kay Johnson's hanging tough. She's clean through 6 frames with a double.
Amazing.
And Everett
Nishikawa.
Everett Nishikawa. He's that prototypical ABT bowler who knows how to do it. I mean, he keeps the ball in play. He likes to, kind of keep it straight in the track area, and he's a good spare shooter.
Yes.
And that's why he always makes money at ABT.
Well, and again, Everett's been bowling the club for 30 years.
Yeah.
Whether it be in San Jose, Seattle, New Vegas,
right. As we get back to focusing on some of our action here, I think I have recognized several of the players moving left earlier after the first couple of frames, and we noticed most of our high shots have went away, minus a tug here or there, and Kyle's even moved a little left here. He's up on 53.
Just bumped it in a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. And 2-8-10. Ball touched probably about 3, and you add that to his bump left, and that might have been kind of a compound error there.
Looked like he got a little fast, too.
Yeah, his feet did look a little quick.
Here's Everett on lane 55.
Oh,
Bamalama. Kaki Masaki. Sneaky good.
Yeah.
You know, if I was bowling this event and I drew Everett in match play, I got my work cut out for me.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Because he's going to keep it in play. He's going to make his spares, and I better bowl a really good game against him.
Yeah, there's players like that, or I call them grinders.
Yeah.
They never give you a bad game. They won't necessarily have a great game, but you're going to have to bowl to beat them. They're not going to give it to you. And actually, for me, they're great. I want a bowler on my team that is that type of player also.
Sure.
The consistency. You know, it's not the up and down, up and down. He's the one that's going to keep you in it.
Right.
And it's up to your, higher average guys that, toward the bottom of your team that are going to be able to have the opportunity to finish the other team off.
Yeah, you want a bowler like that on your team, or one that will buy all the beer.
Okay. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Scott Pohl, 4-6-7 on lane 56. He is in trouble.
Yeah, he's in serious trouble.
And it's interesting. I made the comment that he gets to bowl on the same pair that he just shot 222 on. And
I believe you even used the word it might be an advantage for him.
Well, yeah, you would think. But apparently that pair is broken down into such a way that it's not very conducive to Scott anymore, or he just made a couple of bad shots, one in the 5th frame and one in the 8th.
Yeah, even if he sheets it now, 9th and 10th, best he can do is 207.
207.
And based on the last number, that might kind of that'll keep him close.
Yeah.
It's not running away from him yet. So he just needs to close up the last 2 frames and see where he fits in. Because we would expect the number to start to etch up just as, because we're only going to be bringing back the 8 out of 16. So we could see just a little trend up in the cut score. But we'll see here in a few frames.
Another great shot by Everett on lane 56. That puts him in the 2 teens. He can strike out for 230, 239 to be exact. Kay Johnson still going at a 203 pace. She's up on lane 53. Oh, and again, the Bo Burton kiss of death.
4-6-7.
Scott Pohl, big trouble.
2-4-10.
He doesn't convert this. It's back-to-back open frames. Comes back shaking his head. Went high on the right lane, goes light on the left lane, and that's a head scratcher. Chris Walker, nice strike there on lane 60.
Nice.
Very nice conversion.
Scott converted that.
Wonder if it's enough, even if he strikes out.
Oh, Panther, a nice strike on 56.
She's solid.
Bowls out of the DFW branch. I think moved there from Orlando. She's maybe
started out of Greater Chicagoland, actually.
Yeah, from Chicago. She's actually assistant, helps out the crew in Dallas-Fort Worth, helps out Andrew Cohen, our branch manager there.
Helps out Bill Cobble, too.
Yeah, whenever she's in SoCal, she probably, if they're a little short-handed, she'll check off some scores for them. We call that a director.
Nice lady. Good bowler, too.
of course, these positions are volunteers, so they're not actual staff members, and that's the thing about our local events. We have some of our bowlers that like to lend us a hand when we're, because we don't have 8 people staffing these tournaments.
But isn't that the same case though for all the local branches? Like not the national tournaments, but you're running, Nikki, you're running a tournament in Denver, and Jason, you're running a tournament, say in Northern Cal. You get the same type of volunteers helping you, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yep.
And they're regulars. Nick probably has people that have helped him out from the time he opened the branch, probably. And then, there's always a few people that are there by your side all the time whenever you need them.
And more than willing to do whatever it takes to make
Yeah.
it successful.
And again, it's all about the bowlers on the floor. So these volunteers, they help our tournaments run more smoothly, making sure, because the ABT truly wants to take care of these bowlers on the floor, mimicked after how the PBA players are taken care of. We want them to get up there and compete. We don't want them to worry about doing score corrections, calling in for pin respots, different things. We want them to just focus on bowling, and we're there to take care of them. And that's what our volunteers do for us.
Everett Nishikawa, 239. He threw the last 6 in a row. Just kind of looking at the scores. I'm trying to get a sense of what's going to make it. So we're going from 16 to 8, right, guys?
Yeah, and basically what I'm seeing in the scores, I'm probably going to be wrong. We could see a little trend down. We might see a single-digit cut here, but just like any squad, there's always going to be a couple that'll shoot the 220, 230, 2.0s, and then you'll see a bunch of 150s, 160s. So
it'll be interesting to see. We've seen just about everything in the second round. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Great shot by Greg Noor there on 55.
It's Greg Newer, not Nyer.
It is newer.
Noor.
Not older, but newer.
Nice.
Bobby Crawford out of NorCal.
Now,
Big bad Bobby Crawford.
Now, Bobby C is not known as one of the quieter bowlers on the lanes.
No.
And I can guarantee you that if you're around him, you will not have anything but a good time, because that guy is a barrel of fun.
He loves life.
Yeah, he's
absolutely
just
enjoys himself.
Amazing character. And
yes.
If you would use one word to describe him, what would it be? How about animated?
he's animated.
Yes.
He's a successful businessman. I think he has, it's nice to just kind of get our audience get to know about these guys are just regular people that have regular jobs. I think he has a FedEx franchise.
FedEx franchise, yes.
So he works his tail off and then comes and bowls his tail off.
Yep. Works hard and plays hard.
And that's what is that? What's that? That's that pin up there on 55. What happened to Newer?
Listen, I just got out of therapy over that.
Of course, it's inconsequential being a field ball, but it doesn't matter. It's so great to reference that.
191 for Greg Newer. Looking at the scores, I don't know if it's going to be enough. How much handicap does Greg get?
And I failed our audience by not taking the trip down to the.
That's all right. We're going to be
table.
down. That's all right. We're going to be down to 8. It's going to be a lot easier for you to do that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to get our audience a little bit more information as well as the panel here, and see if we can't be more educated.
We've got qualifying for main event going on behind us.
We do.
We've got Survivor going on in front of us. It's what makes the ABT national event so great. There's so much stuff to bowl.
And let's add to that the Scratch first squad of the Scratch, the $10,000 guaranteed first place Scratch event was going on the low side of the high side, one could say. So yeah, there was a lot going on all at one time, and that is what makes it great. I often wonder if the casinos really do like us, because we try to keep them bowlers up here on the floor. No, we always give our bowlers plenty of time to play in between squads on breaks. Obviously, They get the full Vegas experience when they're here.
Well, and I mean, again, that's another great facet of the tournament. It's a great venue here at South Point. Lots and lots to do, and we're in Vegas.
Yeah. Well, what more could you want? I mean,
you know they have a new slogan for Vegas, don't you?
Well, I'm sure I'm going to find out.
Well, it used to be whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And now it's whatever you bring to Vegas stays in Vegas.
Right. Well, I don't know if that's a new slogan. I just think that it's probably becoming more recognized. Maybe it's just a personal feeling you have.
So I have a great Vegas story for you. So there's a man by the name of Dave Bernhardt, owner of Turbo. All right. So he's on a golfing excursion with 11 other buddies about 2 weeks ago, posting pictures on Facebook. Each day I would look at my Facebook account, and there's another picture of Dave and his buddies, and the caption says, "Beautiful weather here in Mesquite. It's unbelievable." The last day, I see a group picture, and the caption said, "We're all going back to Detroit. Can you guess which one of the 12 hit the Wheel of Fortune in the airport for $1.3 million?"
That's a great caption. And do we know the answer to the caption?
I don't.
So
I don't know who won it. But one of the 12 hit the Wheel of Fortune in McCarran Airport
for 1.3.
For 1.3 million. My question was, did he miss his flight?
I'm thinking, right. I mean, he definitely had to have upgraded, right?
How's that hit right before the flight home?
Now, do you think if that happens to you, do you upgrade all your buddies or just...
Oh, no.
They're coaching it still.
I'll send beer back to them, but I'm not upgrading them.
All right.
Well, let's see. 1.3, 12, 11 guy. Yeah, it'd probably end up costing you $5,000.
Oh, that's walking around money.
I'd do it.
All
yeah.
right. Good.
But guess what? First class is already full. There's no way you can upgrade them anyway. So, I read that on Facebook, and I was like, oh, my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. And it was followed up with, who said you can't win at the airport?
Right.
They need Everett, Ishikawa.
Well, I suppose those are kind of those dreamy stories. Everybody wants to come to Vegas and win $1.3 million on the Wheel of Fortune. But the reality is, I'll take my chances winning $25,000 in the ABT.
What do you think the odds are of that guy hitting that?
Bobby Crawford.
Not sure.
Kane Johnson.
This third round is the out in two?
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris
Probably
Walker.
gonna use the monitor for 53.
Ross Lucky Lions.
Just getting the word from our producer that the next round will be using the two outer pairs, 53 and 54 and 59 and 60.
We are down to how many, Jason?
I think we're down to 8. I may not be able to do the odds on winning $1.3 million on the Wheel of Fortune in the airport at McCarran International in Las Vegas, but I think I got us down to 8. I got the answer for that one.
I just think that's an incredible story.
It is incredible.
Had to be a dollar machine. Guy's just chucking in his last hundy before his flight's leaving, right? They're in the airport. They're at the gate. Guy chucks a hundy in a dollar Wheel of Fortune machine and hits it for 1.3. How long did it take for him to get paid? Did he make his flight? Did they give him a check? How did it work? I want to know.
It just seems like we've been withheld a lot of information that could have been very beneficial.
I feel slighted.
I know. Your buddies are not doing you justice for the answers you need. But what I would say to that, living here for 16 plus years, is, well, that's really not a lot to win because Megabucks usually gets up to 60, 70 million. So I'm not really...
Megabucks gets that high?
Sure. Starts off at 10.
Right.
And it's really funny. The trend always is, well, I'm not going to play it till it gets to 50 million because I'm really not interested in only winning 10. It's always been very comical. No, it's just...
It's like the Florida lottery. It starts at 2. And people say, well, I don't want to, I'm going to wait until it gets up to 10. And I'm like, why? What's wrong with $2 million?
Right. Well, Chris Walker getting out of the gate.
Not good.
Not good.
And he's coming off of that pair.
He did. So there is obviously they're not taking the information that they learned in the first game, or definitely missing what the lane's telling them in the back end of that second game. Again, easy in the back seat. These guys are out there doing the best they can, and
Ross Lyons back on 59 and 60 where he started. Coming off of another nice game. He pulled a big game on 59 and 60. Guy's got a good game. A lot of hand. Likes to play out. It's nice to see a guy that can hook and play out.
yeah, it's showing a pretty strong skill set.
So you've heard of that energy drink, 5 Hour Energy?
I have.
I'm coming out with a new one.
I'm sure you are.
5.5 hour energy drink.
Yeah. Well, you know, the whole 8-minute abs.
7-minute abs?
I know. I went to the 7-minute abs, and I tell you what.
7-minute abs.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, nice shot. Good start for Ross.
Trip 4. But we'll see if he makes an adjustment off that shot. He seemed to throw the ball pretty well and went high, caught a break, so we'll see if he moves. We watched Kyle up on lane 60 in his opening shot. We knew he didn't like it when he threw it, so let's see if he makes a better shot here. Looks like the part of the lane he wants to be in, and yeah, great result.
You got 3 players that all have power on 59 and 60 playing the same part of the lane. Oh, no. Back-to-back open frames for Chris Walker after this pocket 7-10 on lane 60. Kay Johnson still in it.
Yeah, looks like she had a little approach trouble there. Stuck a little bit. Left the 610. But I'm expecting her to make it.
Wonder how many games Kay bowled today. Oh no. Chops the 610. It's all right, Kay. It's frame 1. Don't worry about it. Ross Lyons up on lane 60. He's a good player.
He is a good player.
Solid.
Yeah.
What area did you say he was from?
Kingman.
So he'll bowl Vegas and...
Yeah, you'll actually recognize the shirt he's wearing there. It's got the Phoenix logo on it, just so we know that most likely a championship shirt that he might have got out of Phoenix. And we've seen him bowl in Vegas a few times in the local events. You know, I like his game. He's got good timing. He's pretty smooth in his approach. He's solid at the line. And let's face it, a guy that's, like you said, has got some power and got some hook, being able to confidently place it, you know, out around the 3 board consistently.
Yep.
You know, it's definitely got some talent. You know, and then it starts going kind of south.
Yeah.
Pocket 710. You first you leave a split, then pocket 710, and then you miss a 6 spin. So, you know, I've been there. I was telling you that story about the ring and 10. Anybody listening that had to watch some of my struggles up there at Star Lanes in Butte, I apologize. I won't do it next year. I mean, I'll be there bowling, but I won't struggle like that next year.
What'd you do? Miss a bunch of spares?
Yeah, I had some spare trouble, and I, per your teaching, and as well as my other coach, Mark Hamill, I throw straight at spares, and I just had a directional problem. Just timing got out of whack and just couldn't quite get the ball on target in the front part of the lane, and that resulted in misses in the back part of the lane.
Nice.
Very nice.
Another good shot by Ross.
He's stealing the show,
Yep.
you know? But that's a good thing. Still got a ways to go to win the event. I'm sure there are going to be some contenders that some of these members aren't going to let him go easily.
Well, he's got a good look. He's got a really nice ball reaction, and all that power creates some good pin carry.
There we go, Kyle. Little light mixer hit. Carries a 7 out.
Kyle Fujimoto looks pretty comfortable at that outside line. We talked about it earlier. We've seen him out there before, but
Yeah.
now it looks like his ball's starting to read it a little bit sooner, so he can firm up a little bit.
Yeah. You know, I just like watching the two different games out there. You know, they're touching the same part of the lane, both Ross and Kyle, but they're both, you know, really different game. You know, ball reactions.
Yeah.
Obviously, the difference between power player and more of a stroker, so to speak.
Yep.
So we're definitely going to see, you know, Kyle have to watch out for some of those flat tens possibly, and just is definitely not going to get to the pocket with the same authority as Ross's ball is going to.
But you know what? Because he's playing the extreme outside part of the lane, he now has angle to help carry.
Yeah.
And, you know, Kyle's going to use a little bit stronger piece of equipment. Ross is going to use something that's a little bit less aggressive because he has more hand. Oh, looked like he got on that one a little early.
Yeah.
And leaving the 3-6-9-10, one of the toughest non-splits to make
The toughest.
because of that back pin, that 9 pin. You know, easy to make on a house shot because you got dry boards to the right and oil left.
Sure.
But on a flatter pattern, or especially when you bowl it on a pattern where they may be a little slicker to the outside part of the lane, extremely tough.
Yeah, it's definitely a nemesis spare, especially when you pretty much at this stage of the game, when you're needing to fill frames, he definitely, even though he's got a great look, he's going to want to fill this frame. So
interesting way to shoot that.
Wow.
And what a great shot. He backs his hand out of it
Yeah.
and throws it straight up like 2-3. That's pretty good there.
that's really good.
One false move, it goes in the gutter, you get 6 out.
Right.
Good stuff. That shows you the talent level he's got and the
Sure.
confidence.
Sure. Well, maybe it's his other buddy that bowls out of Phoenix there, Sean Ashley, standing there talking to him. Obviously, I think he just got into town to bowl the main event, and so he wasn't here to bowl the Survivor here. But maybe his buddy's keeping his mind off the pressure. Although I don't know if Ross is feeling any pressure right now.
Yeah, it looks pretty loose.
Well, the 5-7 for Chontita on lane 54. You know, I'm going to go out on a limb here and call it. She's going to pick this up. I think Chontita's got one of these in her on this frame. So let's see.
So you're going out on a limb and you're predicting she makes the 5-7.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
Wow.
It's hard not to be amazed with the area that Ross has created for himself and the consistency that he's delivering the ball. Oh,
Wow.
Now
That was close.
that was close. She definitely gave it a run for her money and almost made me right.
I was going to look through your pockets for the crystal ball if she'd have made that.
Yeah, just stay out of my pockets, please.
Kyle Fujimoto on lane 59. You know, the only time I see him make a bad shot is when his hand goes around it early. He did that on his last shot on the right lane and came up light.
Ooh.
When his hand stays up the back a little bit better,
Yeah, that was
his
really-
ball reads,
Yeah.
and then it gets to the pocket.
Well, Chris Walker trying to right the ship.
Well, he's got
We got a lot of work to try to. Yeah.
He's in that mode right now. If his mindset is, I have to strike out to have any chance.
Right.
Kay Johnson, 3-6-10. Got to be a good spare shooter. Jason talked about it earlier.
There she is.
And nice conversion. Look at that. She chops a 6-10 and then makes 3 consecutive 7-count spares.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do. Those high handicap players, they have to do that to get to have any chance.
Yeah, they really still are. They are still forced to make their spares. I don't really like the word forced, but if you're going to make the cut in one of these events, or if you're going to advance into future rounds, making those spares is going to be part of the recipe.
All of a sudden now Ross Lyons has a little bit of early hook. He really liked that last shot he threw on lane 60 and the ball drifts high. You can tell just by the player's body language and reaction after they come back from a shot. So look for him to make an adjustment. A 2-1 or a 3-1 left on that lane. 3 boards with his feet, 1 with his target. Look at that. He does it with the 3-6-10.
And puts the ball in the identical. Yeah, exactly. That converts the 3-6-9-10 as, again, that was a mirror image of the shot he threw before on the 3-6-9-10. That's just wow, right?
You don't just wake up out of bed one morning and go, I'm going to decide to shoot that spare that way. Yeah. That's something he's practiced.
Yeah.
Kay Johnson, lane 54, 79 years old. Crossover, give it to her. That's what I'm talking about.
Little chuckle out of her. You know, she's just full of life. She loves bowling ABT. You know?
She does.
She's just amazing.
I mean, bowling is her life.
Another strike for Kyle.
Her and her husband travel to these events in their motorhome.
They do.
She cooks all of the meals for ABT, for the ABT staff in that motorhome. She brings their dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, they bring their dogs, and you know, it's always great to see Kay Johnson at an event.
Welcome back, legend.
Well, thank you. I was just been informed that we're going to make a special presentation at the conclusion of this Survivor event to one of our founding directors.
Yes.
Actually, this gentleman started the Amateur Bowlers Tour of California, which is what it was called back in 1976, with founder Ken Delyden out of Orange County. And we're talking about Joe Daly. Joe eventually became the director of the Bay Division, San Francisco, and Oakland and surrounding northern territories. But I believe that Joe is responsible for handing out over $40 million in prize money.
Wow.
Since 1976
Holy cow.
Through this past year. Now we have he doesn't know it yet, but Joe has come up and he's actually going to bowl a qualifying squad at 10 o'clock tonight. And unbeknownst to him, we're going to present him this plaque right, hopefully, if it works out well, right after this tournament concludes. And hopefully we get Randy out there. We're printing out the verbiage on the plaque,
right,
so that Randy can read it. And what we're going to do is bring all the Bay Division bowlers that are here out on the lanes to give Joe the recognition that he absolutely deserves. Joe's been a great friend and a good mentor to me when I started out running a Denver branch in 1987. Between him and Bill Cobble, they were great guys to call up if I had a problem or a suggestion or how I can, grow my base branch membership. And it was those two guys that really helped me get to where I am today. And it's great that us as an organization is going to show Joe how much we care about.
Yeah, this presentation is actually, one of the, been around a while, but one of the new kids on the block. This is going to mean a lot to me. I was there last Memorial Weekend, actually, when the company I operate basically, one could say, retired Joe and gave him, took basically going to take over where he devoted his time and efforts for 35 plus years, and like you said, over the $40 million paid out. It was really emotional, and I expect this to be emotional for Joe. I actually know that it's going to be for me as well. I had a hand in having the verbiage put on that the crystal etched plaque that we got, and thank you to Ken Keegan, Dennis Fancushion, and K&K Logo Infusion for providing that for us. Logo Infusion, one of our sponsors as well. I think I'm actually going to have a little bit of a hard time with it. Joe laid the groundwork for all of us to follow. His achievements and his commitment makes it possible for a guy like myself to have something to carry on. And it really means a tremendous amount to me to be a part of this presentation.
Yeah, and believe me, we've actually given Joe so much abuse over the years.
I was waiting for you guys to go there.
That it'd be pretty cool.
I'm sitting over going, okay, not a dry in the house, and I'm thinking, hey guys, do you remember how much bashing you've given that poor man over the last 7 or 8 years that I've been involved? I mean, all right, and I'm not excluding myself either, because I've given it to Joe pretty good. Now, with that being said, Joe's pretty good at giving it right back.
Oh yeah.
He's relentless in his returning. As a matter of fact, I was sitting here early talking to Ken Keegan, and I feel this popping sound in both my ears as he basically comes up and whaps both my ears with his flat hands, which could have broke my eardrums. But after some of the abuse that all of us I was given to Smokey, his nickname, I deserved that. So, but at the same time, it's always been in good fun, and
yeah, we wouldn't do it if we didn't love him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we're down to our final 8 here in our Survivor event. You got on 53 and 54, Kay Johnson, Bobby Crawford, Everett Nishikawa, and Conchita.
It's a nice baby split conversion there from Kay. Sorry.
Go ahead, Nick. Finish your thought,
and then
I'll go with what I got for you.
And then 59 and 60, you got Ross Lyons, Rhino Panganaban, and Kyle Fujimoto, Chris Walker. And out of these 8 bowlers, we'll cut to 4.
Take a look at Kay Johnson's score. She misses a 6-10 in the first frame. Then she converts 3 consecutive 7-count spares. She strikes. Then she leaves the 1-3-6-10 and makes it. Then she leaves the baby split and makes it.
Yeah, amazing.
This right pair over here, 59 and 60, has absolutely blown apart. When it looked like Ross Lyons couldn't miss the pocket, all of a sudden he started to get early hook, started going through the nose, then he moves in, tries to back his hand out, can't hit the pocket. Chris Walker's moved in a good 7 to 10 boards left from where he started.
10, yeah. But again, we're talking about the amateur player bowling on these conditions, and now obviously they're transitioning and blowing up, and now he's in that process now where he's learning. Okay, I did this, that didn't work. I did this, that didn't work. That he's gonna have those questions in his mind when he's done, and again, our response to that would be, well, you're gonna be able to watch yourself on this venue and see what Chris Walker did basically to what you did, how he was able to hold pocket with where he was playing the lane as opposed to what you were doing.
Well, if you look at the guy who bowled the best game on that pair, it's Kyle Fujimoto, who's got less hand. His ball doesn't read the front as much, right, and he was able to stay there and keep his ball on line.
Now, is he able to do that with his game? We don't know. You know what I'm saying about Ross?
Right. But, I mean, at the start of this game, Ross starts out with the front 3, and it looks like he's going to bowl 300. I mean, that's how good his look was. All of a sudden, it blows apart. Front start to hook. Goes through the nose a couple of times, moves in a little bit, then the ball just bails on him. Meanwhile, Kyle Fujimoto probably didn't have to move.
No, he actually didn't. all Kyle had to do was make sure to stay more up the back of the ball and not get around it, like you mentioned, Randy. And as soon as he pretty much made that happen, he had a lot of success.
Look at the shot Ross just threw now. Compared to where he started this game, he's moved in and he's taking his hand out. Try to get the ball through the front part of the lane. It's a new trend I'm starting to see now. Bowlers with backpacks. They carry their gear in there, their shoes, their tape, rosin bags, bologna sandwiches, Actually, you know what? A bologna sandwich doesn't sound too bad.
With Miracle Whip or mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think bologna sandwich
It's got to
with
have
mayo
it's
and a slice of American cheese.
Right. And you know what? Believe it or not, I prefer mayo on all sandwiches, literally except for bologna. It has to have that tangy, mayonnaise. It has to have the Miracle Whip with the bologna.
But the secret to that, fry the bologna.
See,
Completely changes the taste.
No, but actually, this is not part of the diet plan, Randy. Bologna's not
bologna
in
and
there.
mayonnaise.
Oh, listen, I'm not running out to get any bologna, but
But it sounds good.
yeah.
Yeah. Right. And how many times does Spam sound good?
Spam doesn't sound good at all. Kay Johnson, only one strike this game, but she's converted every spare she shot at except the 6-10 in the first. Looking to advance to the final four. Leaves a 10-pin on a great pocket shot. Can Kay Johnson convert the 10-pin? She's made everything else.
Randy, I don't have to go out on a limb on this one. She's going to make this.
There's the kiss of death.
No. She's
only if it comes from your mouth.
Little crossover for
actually a lot of lower scores this one, except for the 237 that was shot on 59 and 6.
Yeah, they're going down. Transitions happening. Fronts are starting to go. More curve. Look out. Look out, Kay.
Oh.
That's all right. It's Jason's fault. He killed you on that one.
We have a ritual that I give her a hug before every squad she bowls. I gave her a hug before this set. And so
she still has a chance to move on, though. With her handicap, she spares in the 10th frame. She's going to be in the 160s.
Yeah. She'll still be
and the scores were low.
Yeah, the scores are low.
To add to our upcoming presentation, I've been told that our national directors, Myron Mitchell and Julie Mitchell, will be presenting the plaque to Joe. So that's going to be very exciting to... and for those of you who don't know, we don't get Julie Mitchell out of the office too often because she's so busy in there. And so it's going to be quite the honor to be presented for them to be able to present this to Joe.
And this is happening when?
Right after this tournament concludes and before the next squad of qualifying begins.
Looks like Everett's going to shoot 168 if he strikes. Bobby Crawford 176 if he converts a spare. 175. And then we're going to see Kay Johnson finish up.
Is this what I'm reading?
That's what's on the plaque, and that's...
Is that what I'm going to read?
Yeah.
During the presentation, yes.
Beautiful. Why is his nickname Smokey?
because he was actually a forest ranger in his early years.
Shut up.
No, he was. Yes, he was.
You guys have more. You guys tell more lies.
I swear.
One guy's a helicopter pilot. This guy's a forest ranger.
Rich
you used to
Arado.
be a heart surgeon. I mean, come on.
To Rich and his friends out there, you know.
All right, I believe you. He used to be a forest ranger.
Yes,
That is incredible.
Yep.
You know, it's bowling is such a great game, and the different walks of life that these people that bowl ABT and that are ABT members come from is just incredible.
I had a good laugh about that when I
Used to be a forest ranger.
Because my statement was, well, you're so old, now I know where Smokey the Bear got his name.
Come on, Kay.
Yes.
How about Kay Johnson? Makes another 310. Misses a 10-pin by just a fraction. Chops the 610. Otherwise, she has a clean game. She'd be shooting 180 clean because of loss of count. It's incredible. Come on, Kay. Finish strong.
167 with a strike plus her handicap. She should move on. Okay, she gets 9 for 166. Conchita finishes out with 147. So our 8 bowlers have finished, and in just a moment we'll find out who our 4 bowlers are going to be for our semifinals. Again, those of you watching out there, this is the Amateur Bowlers Tour Spring Nationals at the Bowling Plaza at South Point in Las Vegas. Beautiful venue. I'm here with Hall of Famer Randy Peterson, my young sidekick, Mr. Jason Langtree. And actually, these all these matches will be edited and available on your iPhone computer, either on coloradosports.tv or the ABT link, which we'll give to you also. I believe it's just ABT Bowling.
It's actually abt.tv.
ABT.tv?
Yeah.
I thought we got out of the
confirm.
.tv, though.
Well, that still link is basically if you can go to abtbowling.com, you will see the link to the YouTube tv.abtbowling.com.
There we go.
Says our producer, and that's why we love him. But again, the link is on abtbowling.com, and you can always get to it that way as well. As well as finding out all the information about upcoming tournaments nationally, all the local branches, where they're located, etc.
I thought I just heard that the cut after round 3 was plus 20.
Kyle Fujimoto. Kay Johnson, 55B.
So we've so far heard Kyle and Kay. We knew for sure Kyle was going to make it. Kay's in there.
Rhino, 56C.
Rhino Panganaban
Crawford, 56D.
and Bobby Crawford.
Bobby Crawford. Well done.
Bowlers, again, there'll be no practice. We will be taking 2 from our top 4 to the championship match. Make sure you follow the arrows. The next ball you roll will be for score. Good luck and good bowling.
Well, of course, we will be cutting to 2 after this round. For those of
The top 2 scores out of the 4 will advance. They're not actually bowling each other on the pairs. They're bowling against each other as a group.
right.
So the 4 bowlers that are left, they have to have the top 2 scores to go into the final. You know, it's kind of neat, Jason, when you see bowlers come into this venue for the first time. Jaw-dropping,
Yes.
eyeballs huge, and just trying to soak it all in to see how cool this place really is.
And this city has some of the most amazing centers in the country, and when you can have all those venues present and then still have this facility even be that much more of a wow and jaw-dropping experience, it really says something about what they accomplished here, Mike Vonyak.
And actually, the bowling center here itself is quite impressive.
Yeah, there's 64 lanes right behind us, so to speak.
Right.
It's an amazing. The recreational center is definitely something to be seen as well. So
guys, are we using lanes 53 to 56?
55 through 58, I thought.
yeah, so we would move into our assuming that since the staff used 52 outer pairs, we move in. Bobby C looking up, giving us some recognition in the booth.
How come there's nobody bowling on 57 and 8?
They could have put all four on.
Unless he put all four on that one pair.
And then that means that they will move the final two to 57 and 58.
Doubles and brackets, there'll be directors down in the bowlers area to collect that. Also remember that level infusion is on site.
Bobby's doing his thing, just being himself, just having fun.
Oh, yeah.
So is all four bowlers going to bowl on 55 and 56? Gotcha, okay.
And then the last two, the finalists will bowl on 57 and 58.
By the way, my horse is still in this. How about your guys, your picks? I don't see them.
My 4 Denver bowlers are gone.
Okay.
So, Mr. Politically Correct, I don't pick the horses, I root for them all.
Wah, wah.
Fall Nationals, October.
Come on, Kay Johnson. Give it to her. Give it to her. All right, Kay. Question is, how much does Kay have left in the tank? You're asking a 79-year-old woman to bowl 5 more games. Who knows how many games she's already bowled today?
Do you see the energy that this woman, you got to be kidding me.
She's like the ever-ready bunny.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I would just be, at her age, I would just be tickled to death to be able to walk.
Right.
Not Kay.
Got it.
Yeah, it converts to 4. That shouldn't count. That should be a 0.
3 and a spare.
Okay, 3 spare. All right.
Bobby Jackson, sorry to tell you, my friend, that's 3 and a spare.
Ooh.
Big 5. That's called the Greek church. Some also call that grandma's teeth.
I thought the difference between the Greek church and grandma's teeth is grandma's teeth was the 4, 7, 9, 10.
4, 7, 9. Oh, the 6 pin not being there, so that's
Right.
called grandma's teeth?
Yeah.
You know, you're probably right.
It's still ugly, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah.
There you see Kyle has the
Wow.
similar look on 56.
Sure does.
That he finished on
Got a
59
good
and
game.
60.
Kid's
Really
got a good game. Oh, nice try.
Clean hand at the bottom so his ball doesn't read the front, where, Ross Lyons and Chris Walker, more power, more roll. Their bowling balls were reading the front too early on 59 and 60, and Kyle was just going right through it. And you know what? Quite honestly, he's got the right lane, the right side of the lane to himself now. There's nobody else bowling
That far
with
out.
these 4 players that are left that are going to get anywhere near him. Oh, I saw it. Nice shot, Kay Johnson. I went to breakfast once with Kay Johnson and her husband, Bill.
Yeah.
It is Bill, right?
Yes.
So they invited me out to a little breakfast buffet, and I want to say it was at Gold Coast.
Okay.
So we go to breakfast, and I get my plate, eggs, some bacon, some sausage, and I get a little side of pancakes. Got some syrup. I eat the eggs, eat the bacon, now it's pancake time. I always save the pancakes for last. Go through about half the pancakes, I'm stuffed. Take my sausage and start dipping it in the syrup. And Kay Johnson loses her mind. She thinks it's the funniest thing she's ever seen in her life. And I'm like, what? Oh, Randy, you dip sausage and syrup. That's so crazy. And I'm like, Kay, it's really good. She still talks about that to this day.
Well, both the
That's
bacon
great.
and the sausage has to go in the syrup for me.
Yeah. I mean, how can it not?
I don't know.
Well, obviously, it made her day.
She thought that was just hysterical.
I thought the story was going to end that she tried it and now she does it as well.
No.
You would think so, yeah.
So you should have.
Well, you know what? I don't know. Maybe she did.
We'll have to ask her. That was Light that came up, leaving them at 2.
Well,
That was who?
That was,
Who?
Kyle.
Kyle, yeah.
Kyle,
Would
yeah.
you want to?
we've got a bunch of other action spinning up around us that our audience can't see. We have the second squad of the scratch qualifier starting up, and another squad of main event qualifying behind us for the 25K Spring National Tournament. Always something going on.
The machine,
Lots going on.
The machinery here at South Point Bowling Plaza is getting a workout.
Yeah. And it'll be busier tomorrow. We got 4 squads of scratch qualifying. We got 2 side event finals in addition to 6 more squads of qualifying for the main event for the national singles.
Bobby Crawford.
Oh!
Caves in the bucket. You gotta love it. Oh, look at him posing. Yeah.
2-4-8 were the
Yeah.
last 3 pins to go. I love Bobby.
So funny.
Such a kick. I tell you what, you can take that man anywhere with you. You will not have a dull time.
Oh, I could imagine. Look out, Kay Johnson. Gets it wide. Oh. So what carried her to the Final Four? Her spare game.
Spare
No
game.
doubt. No doubt about it.
Uh-oh.
Comes up light, 2-4-8-10.
All of a sudden now that same ball is laboring.
And I would say out of our 4 semifinalists that Kyle's probably the highest average out there.
Without question. Look at that's an awful break.
Oh. I thought
She doesn't catch enough of the head pin. The ball deflects and she leaves the 8.
Wow.
That's highway robbery, Kay Johnson. Highway robbery.
Good effort by Kyle. Rhino.
Nice double there for Rhino.
It's funny, we're starting to see a lot of strikes, but a lot of splits. Strike split. Kay's asking if he dips the sausage in syrup.
Must be initial.
Well, something's going on. Did Kay bowl on the wrong lane? Oh, she's questioning whether or
yeah.
not she made her spare.
Correct, which she did not.
Rhino's telling her, no, you left the 8-pin. The 8-pin was wiggling.
Right.
Kay thought she covered the spare.
Sure.
Bowlers on lanes 1 through 30, please hold up. Your practice time is over.
But isn't she on
Kay's on the
lane?
wrong lane.
She's on
Kay's on the wrong lane. Hey, guys.
They got her.
They got her. Okay, cool.
All right. Now, you know what? This could be costly. She's got to get her head back into this,
Yep.
regain her composure.
Remember, bowlers.
Come on, Kay. You can do it.
15 and 16.
All right,
Okay.
no split.
1 and 2, 29 and 30 to 17 and 18. Everyone else slides 1 to the right. Please have a floor director verify your scores before you move on to your next pair. Next ball you roll will be for score. Good luck at bowling, and thank you for bowling the Amateur Bowlers Tour Spring Nationals.
Come on, Kay. All right, nice recovery.
Yes. And the cool part is we're able to see the bowlers' scores now above the lanes. Now next year we're going to have the women's here, the USBC Women's Championships. And then the following year the men come, or the USBC Open Championships.
Correct.
Here at the Bowling Plaza.
Can't wait.
And I believe, isn't the military tournament coming here this August?
I believe so. I think I saw the advertisement for that. It's exciting.
Ooh, wow. 710 on a mixer. That tournament is just huge. Can you imagine they're going to take both the bowling center and the stadium? So how many lanes are we talking here? We got 60 here.
124 total
wow.
lanes.
Incredible. Wow, that was a great shot by Kyle. He needed that too. Rhino get one. Attaboy.
Off of this squad to the semifinals. And your semifinals will be at 9 a.m.
No, it's kind of interesting now at this point, Jason. It's not, in a way, it's necessary. You say, well, I gotta post a good score to advance, but I think there's a little jockeying going on here too, because it looks like everybody's kind of struggling. McKay goes up there and jacks
Flushes
a rack.
one, yeah.
Good luck in bowling and thank you for bowling.
You know, this is similar to an eliminator format that we're using in many branches around the country where, you know, you just got to be in the top two now to make it.
Right,
so,
right.
you know, you just don't want to be last or second to last. And I think that creates a dynamic to where you really, somebody can be seemingly out after 5 or 6 frames and then go off the sheet in the back end and all of a sudden just go around everybody and they're back in it. And, nice messenger.
Oh, Bobby C. Bobby C. You kidding me?
Well, you did call him animated earlier.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and
you're going to get your money's worth with Bobby.
You're going to. So
I've known Bobby for a long time. He's just a character.
So I think the dynamic I'm trying to describe is when you're heads up with somebody in a typical play match, you can kind of intimidate them and make them feel like they're down and out of it, and you can kind of confidently just run away from them and win the match sometimes. And in this case, you just can't confidently run away from 3 people. No. You can secure that number 1 spot and know that you're going to advance, but sometimes that second, third, and fourth spot are very undeterminable all the way up until that last ball is delivered. So I really enjoy matches like that.
We're looking at Kyle Fujimoto.
He's always been a good spare shooter.
And you said Kyle is a Las Vegas product?
He is. Yeah, okay. Las Vegas member. His wife Lisa bowls as well. Hopefully we'll see a little bit.
Kay obviously from Southern California.
Yeah, Kay is from SoCal.
Rhino I'm not sure about. And Bobby obviously from Northern California, the Old Bay branch.
Yes.
Your Northern California branch now.
Right. Yeah, it's too bad that we didn't, that's, the interesting thing that all the bowlers that we definitely talked about, we knew this information personally about them. We really didn't have it scripted or anything, and that's one of the reasons why with Rhino, I'm thinking he honestly is from Northern California, but I guess when you try to remember as many members as we do, and we know about much about our membership we do, there's going to be a few individuals that we still need to get to know him a little bit better, and next time we're talking about Rhino, we're definitely going to know where he's from. And
Bobby crosses over, goes high Brooklyn for a 4-bagger. So he's got strike split 4 in a row.
Well, at least he didn't run that one out or walk that one off. I mean,
Kay converts another 10.
Yeah, and that's the spare game we talked about. It's been keeping her in this whole time.
It really is, yeah. Okay, I just read Rhino back a Rhino shirt. He's from the Twin Cities branch.
Oh, wonderful. Actually,
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Well, I'll be seeing him then on April 19th and 20th as I'm a part of reopening that branch. So I'll apologize to him then as I introduce myself to him. Before then, hopefully.
A lot of good bowlers out of Minnesota, boy. Wow.
Yeah, and that's another one of those great ABT branches that's been around for a really long time.
Long time, yep.
And, with Steve and Bonnie, with some...
Steve and Bonnie Hawkins.
Yep. Steve having some health issues. And, at some point in time, everybody's going to retire. I think it may have been a little sooner than Steve would have wanted. Yeah. And, us, my company having the ability to step in and give them a hand operating that branch for them and keeping it active in the area for the bowlers. And it's a great privilege.
Kay Johnson on lane 55. Ooh, goes over Brooklyn but leaves the 5-10.
Now I've already been wrong on a 5-7 call. So
okay, I'll go out there. I'll step out there and say that she'll make it.
Okay, now I was really close, but still wrong when Chontita had a 5-7. So we're going to go ahead and go on record here with Nick the Legend calling a conversion here by Kay Johnson of the 5-10.
Ooh, that was so close. Good effort by Kay.
Definitely was.
She's still in the hunt, though.
Yeah.
But now look at how all the scores have gotten very, very close.
Right.
And again, we're only seeing the scratch scores up there, but they're all close, believe me, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
It's amazing to me sometime watching Bobby bowl that with absolutely no follow-through that he's as accurate as he is.
Well, one could say that some of his inaccuracies definitely do come from the lack of that follow-through and possibly, some of these shots that he's been leaving with the crossover and this high shot.
Well, again, as the lane opens up or blows up, the way he sets the ball down early, it's obviously going to read the track early.
Right.
And he's having issues getting the ball right to the head pin. But makes us spare easily.
That's the beauty of this game. There's a lot of different ways to get it done.
Yep. Not necessarily textbook, but you throw the textbook out the door when you're coming down a match play.
Yeah, you're not going to go and teach that game, so to speak, as we might say. But when you're good at what you do and you can repeat it, you can have some success.
Yep.
Yes.
Get up.
Well,
nice shot.
That's playing the twig. That might have, that was a really great shot. And
it was cool. We've talked about how bowling has progressed over the years as far as conditions, surface, bowling balls, and I remember as a kid bowling on lacquer, and there wasn't a right-hander outside of 10. I don't care who you were. You were in that 15 to 11 track. He just got the ball into the track and got it up to the head pin and hope for the best. And then your thing comes out and all the righties get pushed to the ditch. And we had nosebleeds for about a year.
Right. Bobby catching a break there, not leaving the 4-9, tripping the 4 out.
Yeah, it could have been a 4-9, sure.
Should be an easy spare for him here. I'm calm. I'm expecting Kay to flush this one. She's had enough with the boys.
Mixer. Oh, leaves a 4. Okay, so looks like all the bowlers finishing up frame 8. 2 frames to go here. Mr. Crawford looks like has the early advantages as far as possibly getting into the last 2 spots.
Right.
All right, easy conversion for Kay.
I'd make a lot more cuts in the tournaments that I bowl if I made all the spares that Kay
Oh,
makes.
please, yeah.
But again, she still has her off days. I mean,
sure.
that's what's going to cost her making cuts and not making cuts. It's what costs all bowlers of her handicap and average range, because she would just consistently migrate up if she always shot spares that well.
Sure. Nice.
It was a really nice shot by Kyle. We're obviously seeing her on a great day.
Sure.
Because an average spare shooting day for her, she's going to miss a few of those.
Yeah. I remember events where she bowled 8 or 9 times and didn't make it, and was so down on herself that she was questioning whether or not she would ever be able to compete again. So, you have the highs and the lows.
Well, she has, if you saw her hand, she's got like a 79-year-old bowling hand, but yet she's got the bowling legs of like a 50-year-old because she's out there just, keeping her legs underneath her. But a lot of times when she struggles, that I've seen in the years past and even just recent tournaments, her hand gets pretty tore up.
Yeah.
And let's face it, skin's pretty frail towards this age, and she's taped up, and
hopefully she doesn't have arthritis in her joints.
And if you look at her knuckles, she tends to have some arthritic signs, and so that definitely is when that's a problem, more of a problem for her. That's when she really doesn't make it, doesn't bowl well. You won't see her making any, the finals or anything like that. So. Because when you and I think we're having kind of a rough day because our low back hurts, she's out there with a hand that's just killing her.
Yeah.
And that's what she's fighting through.
Sure. Frame 9 for Bobby. Oh, he liked it when he let it go. The old walk away. Look at him. Yeah, he just kills me. He is a trip.
My mic's off. Killed it.
Rhino. Oh! Wow. I think Rhino expected that ball to finish, and it just kept going. Unfortunately, he's going to end up with 163. And I don't think that's going to be good enough.
Right, and, going back into teaching mode that I love to do. I think that was a great shot. When Rhino misses a spare like that, it's not, that is what's going to cost him possibly from advancing.
Right, sure.
It won't be the fact that he's going up against X number of pins, so to speak, against a K or whatever.
Correct.
And then so the perception is, as long as he can realize that and remember, okay, well, I didn't advance in this match because I just missed this pretty simple spare. It was on me.
Correct.
And I do believe the nature is oh, well, I was up against 40 pins or 50 pins or whatever.
Well, how bowlers are. They have to make some logical excuse. The planets weren't aligned.
Logical excuse. When does that happen?
But I guess it's really just...
Dude, like the planets were lined up. Relative humidity was quite high.
I really, just to, as we pretty much can see who we're going to have in our top
You can pretty much figure Kyle's going to be in there.
Is it Kyle and is it Bobby?
Maybe, depending on handicap.
Yeah.
Well, Bobby's shooting he's in the 2 teens right now. Low 2 teens.
Right.
Kay Johnson is in the 160s.
It's going to be really close.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right? Or is she in no, she's shooting. Kay Johnson's in the 170s. So he's got her by 40 right now. So depending on the differential in handicaps, or the difference in handicaps, I should say. But it looks like Kyle's going to make it, no?
Yep.
That puts him in the 2 teens, right? 213.
Boy, this is going to be real close.
It is.
Love to see Kay Johnson double right now and bowl for the title.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
That's a shame. Bobby's so worried about.
Yeah.
He kills me. Bobby's got the kind of laugh you could walk into
A stadium.
a football stadium
football stadium.
with 70,000 people, and you would hear the laugh and know exactly who it is, and you go right to him.
Yes.
Big shot here.
Oh, he liked it. Now he's showing off. Now he's showing off for the cameras.
Well,
That might be the one that gets him in.
Yeah.
Kay Johnson here. She could possibly knock Kyle
Fujimoto out.
Fujimoto out with a double right here. Looks good. Get up the hill.
Yes.
Yes, baby. One more, Kay. Come on, you can do it, girl.
It's a shame we don't play favorites, you know.
How can you not root for Kay Johnson?
No, how can you not root for any of these guys? I mean, Jason and I have to be completely impartial. You being
Me, I
the
can root for
outsider,
whoever I
you
like.
can- you just want to root for whoever you want to root
Let's
for.
rephrase. Jason is the only one that's completely impartial on this panel.
Yeah, because he's absolutely for one person.
I am absolutely not for anyone.
Ooh, nice shot, Bobby.
You know, when I
What did he say?
I don't know.
Come on, Kay. One more good one right here. Could seal it. Again, we don't know the difference in handicap. Oh, Kay got a hook
Think
a
she
lot.
She let it leak.
That's all right. That's all right. Gets 3 or better. Let's see what happens.
Bobby finishes strong, shoots 232.
He's got the whole lane.
Pretty much. Realistically, the question's going to come down to the handicap difference between Kyle Fujimoto and Kay Johnson.
Right.
But I got a sneaking suspicion we're going to see Bobby and Kyle.
Kyle's still sitting in the sets area. Like, if Kay Johnson makes this, he's out.
I don't know.
Oh, no. Don't know how many she needed. She's taking the wrister off.
Super pot guaranteed at $500.
It may not have even have been close. Who knows?
And we're going to find out here in just a second.
Kay's taking all the hardware off. Looks like it's going to be Kyle and Bobby.
Well, we won't know till it's official.
That's the difference.
Okay, in just a short moment here, we're going to get into round 5. It'll be our championship round. And we'll let you know who our final contestants are here in just a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, now to our final match.
Again, we're at the beautiful Bowling Plaza at South Point in Las Vegas. I'm here with Hall of Famer Randy Peterson,
57
ABT Branch Regional Manager Jason Langtree. This is the first of what we hope to bring you at as many as 5 different events. Tomorrow we're going to have ladies only, scheduled to start about 10 o'clock Mountain Time. And then tomorrow evening we're going to have our gold members semis and finals. And then Sunday you'll see our open scratch top 8 round robin, as well as most of our top 32 single elimination match play for our spring national singles champion. So we got a lot of bowling to show you in the next couple days.
Well, a little update on this championship match. There's a difference of handicap between Bobby and Kyle of 23 pins. Advantage of, not advantage, but Bobby is getting 23 pins.
So that is our finalists, Bobby Crawford and Kyle Fujimoto?
Yes.
Okay. I can hear that laugh through my headphones.
Yes.
Oh my God, how can you not make it? 240 on Thursday nights. Oh my God. I
Monday. Finishes Tuesday.
Well, looks like we're getting underway here.
All right. It's our championship match. Bobby Crawford will lead. Starts out with his strike. Both of these guys are lined up pretty good. Obviously, Bobby inside, Kyle on the outside. And you said there's a 23 pin difference in handicap to Bobby Crawford's advantage.
Yes.
So we got Bobby Crawford out of NorCal, and we have Kyle Fujimoto out of the Las Vegas branch.
Well, I'm expecting this to be a really great match.
I do. I expect it to be pretty cool.
I'm going to look for it to be a one-mark match when it's all said and done.
You didn't like it, but it held. Great shot.
Yeah, he opened up the second round on lane 60 with a shot similar, but did not strike. So that was fortunate to actually get a strike. Looks like he might have had a little early heel contact on his approach. You know, us bowlers, we think we stick every time that happens, but a lot of times it's early heel contact with a lot of time, so to speak. And then you're sitting there looking down at the approach when you should be talking to your heel.
Wow, he really got that one out wide. Ooh, came back, almost carried the 7 out. Kyle looks like he just got out of high school. Not the case, obviously, but
All right. Well, I had made a comment that Kyle's a pretty solid spare shooter, and of course,
critical error.
We're going to miss a few from time to time, and that's a really poor place to have that error. So early in the match, though.
Oh yeah,
he'll get back on it. Long ways to go.
And Bobby throws one here though, with that 23 pin advantage right out of the gate. He takes a early big lead.
Right.
Hey guys, do you know the difference in handicap?
23 pin.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
And you knew that. That's because you peeked.
No, I asked. Oh, there it is. Advantage, Bobby Crawford.
Bobby Crawford.
Bowls anything like he did the last game, he's a lock. Uh-oh. Did he foul?
No.
Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Wheel starting to come off?
Nah.
Back? Yep. Up. Maybe a twinge. Interesting leave.
Yes.
Not sure I've ever seen the 1-3-5-9 ever.
It's different.
What do you do here? Throw strike ball?
High.
No.
No, if you go high, you leave the 9 pins.
You think?
Oh, you missed them all.
Oh.
Yeah, right. What do we know? Bobby knows his game. Come on.
All right, looks like we may have an injury. We need a sideline reporter down on the floor. With more, let's go down to Angie on the floor. Angie, can you tell us or give us an update on Bobby Crawford?
Angie's microphone is not on down in the field.
It's not, and she likes it that way. Oh, he's hurt.
No, he's been turning around like that.
Is he not hurt?
No, if he likes.
Is he showboating?
Yeah.
He might be, and that's
yeah.
You know, it's something.
It's Bobby.
It's Bobby. and I think honestly, if we want to talk about, I think it might have upset Kay a little bit. Bobby's animation. We do try to run a pretty professional organization. We definitely want our members to have fun, but I will, I don't think that we need to be walking off all the shots and doing these antics. And but then again, it is a competition, and whatever gets in your opponent's heads, I mean, all in, I guess could be thought of one way, but it's always that touchy subject. Conduct on the lanes and keeping it fun, but keeping it professional, respectful at the same time.
Not going over that.
And then since we know Bobby so well, someone that's just seeing Bobby for the first time might think a little bit, but really he's a good guy, loves life, has a lot of fun.
Nice.
And,
did he not carry that? No, he
that was
carried
a carry,
it.
yeah.
Great shot.
So
What did Kyle miss in the second frame?
7.
seventh.
He went straight at it, hard and straight at it, moved over left, and the ball just he tugged a little bit and it went in a ditch right in front of the 7. Now you can't see him, but over to our left we have 2 directors that have probably 127 years of experience between them.
Wow.
Mr. Bill Cobble, Mr. Joe Daly. Nice shot, Kyle.
Very nice.
Got right back in it.
Yep.
But now he's got to start eating away at that 23 pins.
Well, he's down by 1 in this game. Add the 23 to it. And I'm not real good at math, but he's down 24, I think.
That's pretty good.
Let's see what Bobby Crawford has left. Looking down at his feet, moving again. Remember the last shot he threw on this lane? That's much better.
Ooh,
good shot.
High. It was a good shot.
Yeah, it looks like he could have moved those feet just a pinch more to the left.
I can't remember the last time I seen a bowler walk or run this many shots out. You want to talk about getting some exercise in.
Well, when you drive a truck, you don't get to use your feet a lot. Actually, you do.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Nick, that one, you need to work on that one. That didn't make much sense to me. Oh, he missed it.
Yeah.
And, again.
Actually, most of the truck drivers, their problems are with their back.
Yeah.
Because of the clutch, brake, gas.
I would think it's your backside from sitting on it so much. But again, it brings us right back to the conversation that we've had throughout the Survivor competition, and that's missed spares. And the years that I've been a part of ABT, I can't tell you how many times in match play or in a title match when a player misses an easy single pin spare because they throw a hook ball at it,
Right.
where it comes back to bite them.
Sure.
There's just absolutely no reason for it.
Well, the lane conditions of the typical league shot permit this to become
Exactly.
Successful, so to speak.
When you have dry to the outside
Right.
part of the lane and oil to the
Right.
middle, people get accustomed to hooking the ball at spares. When you get on a flat pattern
Right.
and you make a mistake left or right, you miss that single pin spare. That's why if you throw the ball straight, you take the oil pattern out of play.
Correct.
Kay Johnson's
Kyle right back.
Kay Johnson standing right here at the booth giving me some feedback as to what happened. Hey, Kay, where are you going? Come back here. Yep, she ran away. She was telling me that the lane started drying up and her 15-pounder, she had trouble getting it down the lane. Kyle doing exactly what winners do. They take advantage of openings given to them by their opponents.
Yeah, so obviously he's gotten that 7-pin miss out of his head. And he really has not missed a pocket. He's thrown 5 shots that could have carried easily. 1 didn't.
Looks good.
That's going to be high. Ooh, and it held.
Yeah, high flush.
Yeah.
Again, his ball not reading the front part of the lane. He can stay out. and there's enough friction there for his ball to walk to the pocket. He's in his wheelhouse right now.
Yep.
And right now, Bobby Crawford knows he's in a lot of trouble. By the way, guys, that 23-pin handicap difference, gone. Okay, it's back now. This match is, let's see.
Well, he's down. Kyle would be down 2.
Well, Bobby Crawford is 197. Kyle Fujimoto is 218. Kyle's down by 2.
Right.
And you guys thought I wasn't that good in math.
Right.
Actually, I want to see his GED or high school diploma.
I'm sorry, what's that? Uh-oh, needs it. Oh. Looked like he totally missed it at the bottom.
He didn't like it.
Yeah, he dead missed it at the bottom, and you could see the ball bail right before it got to the head pin.
2-4-10.
Bad time for that to happen.
At least he got the 8 out, the 8, so it's not as difficult. Makeable.
Very true.
I will not be going out on a limb calling this as a conversion.
It's always a good thing.
We're 0 for like 5 right now.
It's always a good thing not to commit, Jason. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's going to hook it at this split.
Yeah, and I'm going for 0. I'm wrong.
Ooh, that was close.
That was close.
Yeah.
It was a very good effort. When you watch this in replay, Bobby, I wasn't rooting against you. I was just trying to increase my stats of my predictions.
Well, he's got 122 open in a 7th. He can shoot. He can shoot it for 212 plus 23. He can shoot 235. And Kyle is way ahead of that projection right now. He can actually shoot it for 68.
Oh, he got around it. He got around it to the tune of 10 in the pit. He's got an unbeatable look right now.
Well, that's fact. Who works with him locally?
You know, he actually, you know, for the many years that I was here with Kyle Bowen, the Vegas branch, he just works on his. He doesn't really work with anybody, to tell you the truth.
Wow.
He doesn't work with anybody.
It's impressive.
Yeah. I've watched this style of game from Kyle since I've known him. Probably met him in 09. So somebody probably worked with him before.
Oh, just a little light.
That's okay.
Yep.
9 spare at this point is more than fine.
Yep.
But you're right. You know, you let him play the right side of the lane. He's got angle now, and he's gonna be a tough player to deal with. You get him left of 3rd or 4th arrow. Now if you've got any hand at all, now you've neutralized his accuracy, because he doesn't have a lot of power. If he has to move in and open the lane up, he's going to lose some hits because of the lack of revolutions. But if he can stay right of 10, like where he's playing right now, that 4-5-6 board, his ball's going to hit as hard as anybody's.
Sure.
Horrible shot.
Misses the head pin left again on that right lane. He is in serious trouble.
Yeah, he is.
Well, it's getting kind of hard to tell if he actually is in some kind of pain, or.
I'll go out on a limb and say absolutely not.
Okay.
There's a lot of broken limbs on this panel. And that's going to be a whiff.
Oh, yep.
And I'm starting to hear that lady.
Yes.
The one that sings.
Yep.
Turn out the lights.
She's kind of rotund.
The party's over.
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
Dandy down. Yep. That's when Monday Night Football was fun. If you get tuned out, wow.
This is starting to turn into a train wreck.
Yeah. You get tune out Howard Cosell and just listen to Dandy Don. It was a good night on TV to watch Monday Night Football.
This is Howard Cosell. Look at the little maggot run. It was Dave Maggot. Right? Dave Maggot for the Giants.
Yep.
Look at the little maggot run.
All right, good comeback. Gets the spare.
All right. Hey, it's a nice effort by Bobby Crawford. I got a buddy at home named Bobby Jackson.
I'm going to never know.
Bobby Crawford, nice effort. Ran into a buzzsaw this game and really chose the last game as his worst.
Right.
Yeah.
In going up against Kyle Fujimoto, who he was getting 23 sticks from.
Sure.
And actually, the way he was bowling, you got to think that was going to be a distinct advantage.
Without question.
After the second frame.
Especially after Kyle's missed spare in the second.
Right.
You got to be thinking if you're Bobby Crawford, oh, man. I got
40,
this guy. This guy's toast,
yeah.
Right? And then it started in the fourth when he missed a single pin spare by hooking it.
Yep.
Comes back with a nice double. Throws a bad shot. Goes 2-4-10. And then,
completely whiffs. Well,
yeah.
Doesn't get up. Tried to hook into the 1-3.
Well, he misses the head pin twice.
Right.
In the same frame.
Yeah. Nice shot. Just close frames here, Kyle. And,
that's it.
Right. And the check is yours.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job by Kyle today.
Yeah, real steady, real solid.
That's your buddy.
We're going to leave that one alone. Kyle Fujimoto. Nice job tonight here in the Survivor portion of the ABT Spring Nationals. Just a great steady performance, making great shots, great execution. He's going to pocket $500.
Right.
And there's still more tournament for that man. Yeah. Lots more money in play for him, available to him. Lots more bowling.
Yeah, we still got a whole more day of qualifying tomorrow. And I don't know if Kyle's already made the main event, but as good as he's throwing the ball, you got to.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes.
Yeah, really.
Wow. Good look, good reaction.
Yep.
Making some good shots. Nice bowling. Kyle.
236 if he strikes. Great job.
It's no surprise he can play out there, too, because I remember over at the other venue watching him throw it straight up 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So he's very comfortable playing the out. And if this pattern holds up throughout the rest of the week and that out is in play, he's going to be a force in the main event.
Sure. Look at that. Doesn't even have to perfectly execute, but he's got such a great look in there or out there that he just rocked.
Yeah, nice show of sportsmanship.
Oh, yeah, Bobby.
Oh, he's just trying to get more FaceTime.
You think?
Oh, yeah. No, Bobby's a good guy. And
he really is. Look at him.
He's just as gracious.
Just having fun.
Just as gracious in defeat as he is when he wins.
That's going to go left. No? Yep. Oh, right through the face. Okay.
You can see how that game, though, would throw a lot of strikes in a house pattern.
Oh, God.
Right. And that is why when you look at both bowlers, possibly, you wonder, well, why would a Kyle be giving up 23 pins to Bobby? If you know both these guys at league, they're going to be pretty close to the same bowler.
Yeah.
Right?
But not on this pattern.
Not on this pattern and not on
other patterns. Right.
On other patterns.
Right.
So there's, and that's also part of the educational process. We see time and time again, that someone sees their buddy bowling league that has a 225 average and they got a 195 in the ABT and they think he's whatever.
Bagging it. Yeah.
Well, and this is it's a prime example of why they're not.
Right.
And let's not deny that we know that 5% of all the world is evil. 5% of bowlers are baggers. 5% of the so if you use the 5%.
Hey, am I in that 5%?
That's a whole
Okay,
nother
thank
show.
you.
No,
Thank
no,
you.
you're
It's a
not.
whole
You're not.
nother show.
No, you're.
That's a whole nother show. Wow. All right, congratulations to Kyle Fujimoto. $500 winner in the Survivor
Tournament.
Tournament here at the ABT Spring Nationals at the beautiful South Point Bowling Plaza. For myself, Nick, Jason, Ange, it's been a pleasure, guys. Enjoyed it? Hey, let's do this again.
I think we will.
I think we will too.
All right, guys.
But again, don't forget we have a special presentation.
Yeah.
here
So
shortly.
we're really not. We're not going
We're
anywhere
not going
just
away
yet.
yet. We'll do a little presentation and present Kyle's check, but then we have that special presentation to make to one of our founding directors.
I was signing off prematurely.
Yes.
My bad. I stand erected.
Directed? I like it.
Erected.
Corrected.
I stand erected. Meaning upright.
Well, yeah. You can't be standing and not be erected.
That's why I said I stand corrected.
Right.
Is he redundant?
Is he redundant? Redundant? All right, guys. We're going to take a little time out here. All right.
Yeah, it'll take us a few minutes.
We'll be back for more from South Point Bowling Plaza here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Stay with us, folks.
Pick up the feed on my phone. So I opened it to archive and check the reception in here.
Okay.
Just grab my headset.
Next to
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to sign off right now. And again, I'm here with PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. You were watching the first of conceivably 6 semifinals of the different tournament venues that we're going to have here at the beautiful Plaza at South Point. Randy, for the first of 4, 5, possibly 6 shows, it was great talking bowling with you and watching the players, and Jason the same, trying to get some insight into their backgrounds and their games and this and that.
It's part of the beauty of doing live streaming versus live television. It's like calling a baseball game. You have much more time to talk about the human interest stories, to talk about bowling, to talk about the nuances of the sport, to talk about what a guy that's bowling your ABT event does for a living when he's not bowling. And that's what the beauty of live streaming affords us, that opportunity that I don't get doing live television.
Right. And then on top of that, we were able to add some, great educational type material about what the ABT does, how we do it, our average system, our handicaps, as well as upcoming the $3 million regional tour. All this type of stuff can be covered during live streaming, because that time is afforded to us, so that's great.
All right, you got us.
Got a little FaceTime.
They always used to tell me I have the perfect face for radio.
Yes.
I still haven't figured out what that means.
I haven't been told that I have anything perfect for anything.
Guys, I got to show this off. This is the new Randy Peterson jersey for 2015.
He's plugging it again.
I was really liking this jersey. You should see the
show it.
The font type on the back of the shirt is pretty killer. I got to admit.
Did they show your name right this year?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. Matt Martin at Storm made sure of it. So, but I like this, man. This is good stuff. I'll wear a different color scheme tomorrow, but the same type of pattern. So
it kind of got missed there. I was leading into a way to get that perfect face for radio off of the live stream by showing us the back of your shirt. But
wow,
you didn't get
very, very clever.
You didn't get the cue.
Very clever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Randy, get us out of here.
All right, folks, listen, we've got much more to come. We hope you tune or check back in with us from time to time. Like Nick said, some 5 or 6 more live streams that we will be doing throughout the rest of the ABT Spring Nationals. We have a great presentation that we're actually going to record. We're going to show that piece on tomorrow's broadcast. So what time's the first live stream tomorrow?
First live stream tomorrow should go on at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and then we'll be back again tomorrow night at 6. And then obviously most of Sunday, we're going to be showing the bowlers the top 32 match play for the big singles, as well as our tournament, scratch tournament.
10 a.m. Pacific time.
I'm sorry. Yes, you're right.
We know you're from Denver and you're stuck on Mountain Time. We get that.
Yes, I am.
All right, folks. So for Jason Langtree, Nick, Slick Nick, Randy Peterson, it's been a pleasure. Again, check in back with us tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got lots more bowling action for you coming from Las Vegas here at the beautiful South Point Bowling Plaza. It's the ABT Spring Nationals. We'll see you all tomorrow.